The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
All right, you goofy bastards. Let's go ahead and fire up our radio program over here. Hello and welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. What are we singing about the clap for?
Well, a listener named Nick emailed that to me. It's been a while since we've played it. I think it's like 13 years old. It's funny. What's the guy's name? Big Daddy Leo on Facebook. He posted this thing. And the best is there's a guy watching this on TV, these adults singing about the clap, clapping along. And his facial reactions are perfect.
To see it.
Like at first he's like, oh, it's a cheerleader. What the hell? Wait a minute. What's going on here?
What did they say?
Should I know Big Daddy Leo?
I'd never heard of him.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't know if this was a famous person who also has a Facebook page that I wasn't aware of.
No, it's the video is so much better than the audio. I mean, I love the audio too, but the video's so good. So thanks to Nick for reminding me of that. Los Angeles, California, that's where you're most likely to get the clap.
Is that so?
AKA gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea.
That's Los Angeles, California.
Oh, I can believe that.
Followed by Chicago. Then we go to Houston, Texas, not Minnesota. Phoenix, Arizona, Philadelphia.
All right.
That's where you're going to get the STDs. Biggest jump in STDs?
Okay, like from year to year?
Yeah, from last year to this year. Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus, Georgia.
At number 4, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You slut.
There's been a massive uptick in gonorrhea in Milwaukee.
Went up 11 spots. 11 spots.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it was because just one person came to town?
Yeah, didn't you go there recently, Dana? Or who went there recently?
I haven't been to Milwaukee in a few years now.
Maybe.
I wish I could stake claim to that, but
I
no.
was there
I
a couple years ago.
It couldn't have been our guest, Janel. Didn't she say she was in Wisconsin not too long
She's
ago?
all over the place. She was recently in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah, wasn't she in California,
LA,
like Los Angeles? She was
LA,
in Chicago,
Houston, Chicago.
Phoenix.
Is it possible that it's just one? Well, of course it's possible, right? Because one person gives it to another, then let's say that second person in line had sex with 7 people in one weekend, and then, of course, it's possible.
There's a patient zero.
Yeah,
somewhere.
right. Where were you at there on that list?
Minneapolis, 72nd.
We are 72nd.
As far as the most STDs in the country.
We're not a threat.
No.
We're not a real threat.
Sleep with whoever you want and unprotected.
Yes. Wow, man. Yeah, we maybe we can get to the bottom, and I'm not trying to be cute with that. Maybe we can get to the bottom of what the hell happened in Milwaukee, that they jumped 11 spots on the gonorrhea Hot 100.
Both of us have. Both of us has slept with girls who had known STDs. different girls.
Yeah.
I would have laughed if she said, "I've got herpes and I'm giving it to you." I would have thought, all right, fine, you made this fun.
When I was dating last year, I had a run-in to that type of situation that you guys were in, and I thought of you two.
You knocked into some sexually transmitted diseases?
Yeah, I thought of you guys, and I was like, do I want to join the club that they're in, taking that risk? And I went with no.
You went ahead and said no to herpes?
Yep, I said no to the risk.
Well, he must not have been as alluring as the partners that Josh and I risked herpes with.
Probably.
Yeah.
No kidding. So the guy, did he up and tell you, look, I've got herp?
Yeah, like the second date.
I'm herp worthy over here.
Yeah.
I'm
really?
proud of you,
Like,
Ashley.
thank you for telling me.
You did the right
Appreciate it.
thing. We were stupid.
I can't imagine having to tell someone that. That must be an awful feeling.
Yeah, it's gotta
Absolutely.
suck.
Yeah.
And credit to this dude that you were on a date with. Second date. Do you remember exactly how he said it? Did he appear to be really anxious and nervous?
Yeah, well, he scared me because he goes, yeah, well, I have to tell you something. And I immediately thought, like, oh, dude, you got like a wife and kids or something. Like, I thought much worse than that. So when he told me that, I was like, oh, okay, well, good to know.
Okay. Good for him. And, I mean, that, like you said, that can't be easy. herpes happen to good people.
Yeah.
Gonorrhea happens to good people. You make certain choices in life, and sometimes they go sideways. That would be tough, don't you think, Josh?
Oh, it'd be miserable.
Every freaking time.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
It should be a crime if you pass something along knowingly.
I think it is, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm sure. Ask your mom.
Oh, my God.
You didn't deserve that. You know what happened?
It's 5:47, Josh.
I'm typing that right now to someone else, so it was in my head. All right. Just going to
kind of an overwhelming
send on a text to making groceries while you sleep, Jesus, and I go after his mom.
You're going after his mother.
Yes, I am.
It's kind of an overwhelming thought all of a sudden to consider having to over and over and over again tell prospective lovers. Is that a decent way to put it, Josh?
Yeah. Partners
After a day or two, a date or two, however you approach it, to say, yeah, look, I got some extra gear I'm hauling around that you need to know about.
I can't remember your situation. Mine was we were hot and heavy.
Ooh-wee. Now we're talking.
We were at an appropriate date to consummate the relationship.
An appropriate date to consummate the relationship.
And I thought, here we go. We're about to enter the main event. And she said, we can't have sex. And like there's a record scratch sound effect. And I'm like,
She said, we can't.
Yeah.
We
like,
can't.
What do you mean? I thought we were about, but I was so excited for it.
You said, look at me. I'm down to my T-shirt. This is as naked. I'm down to my T-shirt and socks. This is as naked as I get.
I am ready to go.
Yeah.
I did lift up my shirt to show her my forearm tattoo that says DTF. I was DTF.
Absolutely.
Look, read it right here. And then she said, I've got the happies.
Okay.
And I thought, oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for telling me. I really appreciate it.
Were you
But you know what? We could probably still go through. I'm sure we'll be fine.
And she agreed.
Were
you completely aware of the repercussions of herpes? Were you completely aware of what it meant to have herpes or how it's passed along? You knew everything about it.
I remember thinking, that's not AIDS. You know?
Okay.
So I get that it shows up every once in a while. It itches a little bit, that kind of thing. She's worth it.
For the millionth time, it is notable. It is interesting. I'm trying to come up with a more dramatic word, but trying not to sound over dramatic. We have had strangely similar life experiences up until we started working together.
Mm-hmm.
Our upbringings, and I'm having a hard time remembering all of them, but we have had.
It's odd.
What we discussed the other day, when the two of us had sex with women when we were younger, only to have them almost immediately after intercourse tell us that they were married and their husbands were in prison.
And we both had the same experience where we thought, well, I'm dead. and I can tell you, in my case, wasn't worth it. Herpes girl, worth it. This other girl, not worth it.
Wife of an inmate gal? Just for the record, worth it.
Oh, was she?
Yes, but I was pissed. Okay, so we talked about that a few days ago.
They're definitely different women then.
Yeah, they're different women. You just asked me what was my experience like when I dangled, what was my experience like when I dangled with herpes.
Did you know this person?
Yes.
Okay, I knew her before we started dating. And obviously it's not something you just, well, at least most people probably don't say, hey, how's the weather? I've got herpes.
You knew her you knew her before you started dating her.
There's a chance of itching.
Yes.
Later today.
I did not know this woman before we started dating. It's a long time ago. But I think we had experienced sex together a few times already.
Oh, really? And she never said it? Or maybe did she not know?
She knew.
Oh, dude. You must have been pretty upset. I don't think I heard that part of the story.
Again, it's hard to remember everything. But it's 25, 30 years ago. I do think that we had bumped, as they say, a few times. So she must have been apprehensive, and I totally understand that. But I asked you, were you well aware of everything that comes along with herpes at the time? I was not. So certainly I knew that this was a sexually transmitted disease, and it wasn't the greatest thing in the world to pick up. But at the time, I don't think I understood what I was exactly gambling with, what I was exactly up against. So anyway, she didn't say we can't have sex. We were as prone as you were describing your situation. We were in the throes of passion, right?
Were you completely naked?
Oh, as the day I was born.
Gross.
Yeah.
Weird.
The day I was born.
No socks even.
She was still fully dressed, I believe.
Was she really?
Yes, I was.
That's how I like it.
But she didn't say. She didn't say we can't. She said something along the lines of, I have this condition, and you should know, She said, I'm not currently, this part I'll never forget, I'm not currently involved in a flare-up, she said.
That's what they call it, yeah.
So that's when it's more risky. Or maybe that's the only time it's risky. One of those two things.
So more or less, I think what she was saying was, we're okay right now, but if you want to keep banging, the two of us, be aware that there are going to be some times where I'm going to have to pump the brakes on you because I am flaring up. Okay, so she told me I have herpes. I faked concern. And I'm kidding. We had a little conversation, but yet I still went through with it. So they're slightly different experiences that we had. And I was with this gal for quite a stretch of time. And there was never a situation where she said no. So I think, and I trusted that she would tell me when there was God, I can't stand saying this, but I'm going to say it again. I trusted that she was going to tell me when there was a flare-up. I'm not saying that she misled me. Mm-hmm. I just think she was she and I guess, were very lucky that it didn't flare up often at all, because we were young and we went for it quite a bit. But there was never a situation where she said, no, we can't do it right now because of the herpes. So that was my whole story on that end.
Yeah, for me, it was pretty much from when she told me to when we started, going at it. I was under about a minute and a half, I would say. That's how quickly I made that decision. And you know how it is when you're aroused. You make good decisions.
Yeah, always, every single time.
Man, do we. So you and this guy, Ashley, with the extra cargo, you guys never did it.
No.
Well, there you go.
How long did you know this person?
Probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Brewers and High Life Jesus says, well, it's obvious after I told my story. He says it's obvious. Your lovemaking cured her herpes.
Duh.
I believe you have that power.
Man, we used to do it, too. I'll tell you that right now.
Were you ever... Maybe, Nick, you're the wrong person to ask. Our boss told us he was going to get tested for STDs, and we laughed and laughed and laughed. We thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. We did have a good laugh over that. Yeah. Because this guy, he's a slut.
Yeah, he is a slut.
Big time.
Yeah. Huge slut. And so he told us that, and instead of being supportive friends, we laughed, because it's funny.
It is funny.
Unless it's something really bad.
Yeah.
We assumed, because he's had stuff where he comes in and he needs our help carrying in the big bucket of pills he has to take for whatever the new STD he's developed.
Yeah.
So he tells us he's got this thing, and then he mentions, dating today, in his experience, you hand each other a document basically saying, look, I'm clean.
Right.
And I do remember testing in between people, just to make sure everything was good.
They're very interesting that you did that.
Yeah.
I never did that.
Yeah, I know. Why did you went the once where my doctor said they don't do the swab, your doctor said, no, we still love the swab.
You're asking why?
Yeah, why did you go that time?
Because I was very concerned.
Okay, so you had a symptom.
No. I had just had a terrible isn't the right word. I had a very irresponsible couple of months. And I finally just thought, okay, I I gotta check things out down there. I had some shady hookups and thought, for my own well-being, unfortunately, selfish as it is, I wasn't thinking about other people and future partners. I was purely thinking about myself.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have someone look at my gear.
Well, at least you did it.
The symptoms that maybe you're referring to is when I was convinced I had genital warts.
Yeah.
And boy, was I sure of it. I thought I had the biggest pile in the county.
That's so scary.
Because it did not look good down there. I was all over the internet. Oh, God, that's what I have. Every picture I looked at on the internet.
Oh, the worst.
Every picture I saw on genital warts, I said, that's what they look like. Yep, I'd look down at my drawers and go, well, you're done.
That's bad.
In the end, it wasn't.
Gosh.
In the end, it was a simple skin condition.
I'm thinking about more symptoms our bosses told us, and man, there's some hilarious stuff that's happened to him, especially when you see the worry on his face. I don't know why that adds to it.
Well, yeah,
but it's so good.
The guy just hands it out like it's Halloween candy.
Yeah.
He does.
It's not like he has, there's no fault in this. He certainly makes some bad choices. I wish I could give credit to this person. They said, I can't agree more with making good decisions when you're aroused. My wiener has led me to places I wouldn't go to with a gun.
Doesn't that say a lot about your character, though, that when you were a young guy, between partners, you would always go get yourself checked to make sure you were clean as a whistle?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, some of them looked gross. Some of them I thought, something's going on here.
Your partners look gross.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, my God.
Which leads me to a question, Ashley, and please be honest.
Yeah?
Look around the room. Which one of us, by looks, would you assume has an STD if you hadn't met us before?
Oh, that's hard.
Oh, no. I was hoping it'd be a lot easier than that.
Which one of us looks
who
like...
just looks like they probably are riddled with an STD?
Well,
just by appearance alone.
You guys look like father age, so you're out of it right away.
Okay, F you for that.
I don't know how to say that. That's the best way.
It's down to just...
I'm sorry, Dana,
wait.
You look like you'd be the one.
Yes,
You'd be the one.
Mom, are you so proud of me right now?
Mostly because
Ashley, what if there was a mirror in the room?
You could see the herpes better. Ashley has face herpes. It's weird.
Why do you say? Oh, I mean, you're down to only two choices: Kermit the Frog and Dana. Why do you? I mean, I guess it's Wapple looks like such an innocent character.
Yeah.
Don't you, Wapple?
Oh, yeah.
You're an innocent-looking guy.
It's
Joke's
mostly,
on you, I had gonorrhea.
It's mostly the process of elimination there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Dana also has like a jock vibe, and that's usually like
Word.
the type of dudes I get laid.
Dana being the exception.
God, how do I make that happen?
A listener has texted in. After hearing our stories, Josh, they're asking, well, do you both know 100% whether you currently have herpes?
Well, yeah. I guess if they can rule it out with a test, then yeah. Before I got married, I got tested, and there's been times I thought maybe I should get tested again because my wife, sometimes she disappears for long periods of time.
I'm fairly sure I've had 2 tests. I mean, this was quite a few years ago. But, I got swabbed, and then I had the how do you call it, the genital wart scare. And I imagine if I was hauling around herpes then, the doctors would have found out about it.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So I guess Josh's answer, your question, do either of us currently have herpes? Josh would say no, and I would say most likely no.
A little gray area there.
I'd imagine by now, if I did, my wife would have it.
Well, yeah.
A little his and herpes, I guess it would be.
Yeah. Your wife would have it?
I got to say, though, there's been times where...
I would have it?
Yeah.
by the process of... Yes, go ahead.
Where I'll be like, oh, man, I got an itch down there or something. And my wife would be like, well, is it an STD? Like, how am I supposed to know?
She would say that to you?
Like years into our marriage. Like, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I've been tested. I think it's just because I'm gross. I think that's the only reason it itches so bad down there.
Well, I don't think you're gross. Not at all.
That's funny because if anything's ever like slightly off about down there, immediately I asked my boyfriend, I'm like, oh yeah, who you been sleeping with? What'd you give to me? What did you do?
Now, are you sort of serious?
No.
Okay.
No.
He doesn't have the balls to cheat on you.
I played
the guy.
I thought I played a pretty decent prank on my buddies many, many years ago, back when we were living up at St. Cloud State University. I had a run-in with a lady, and she was not shy. Everybody in town kind of knew this lady liked to have sex. And she gave me a piece. And my buddies were very... We're really busting my balls, you know. I took a ride on the neighborhood bicycle, right? Right? Mm-hmm. Like my buddies were picky, right? But they weren't. But the ball busting was, dude, you had sex with her, and I didn't care. I was very wide open, So, for a few days, I'm getting my balls busted by my pals. Oh, you probably got an STD. She probably has herpes, gonorrhea. She bangs everybody. And I just, whatever. So, we went up north to a buddy's cabin up in Ely. Wintertime trip. And no plumbing in the cabin. Just an outhouse. And you know how it goes. We're drinking beer all weekend long, and we kind of had one snowbank where everybody was taking a leak.
Yeah.
And it naturally it gets worn down, and it gets yellowed a bit.
Sure. Yep.
Right. So, knowing that I was getting all this grief from my pals saying, "Oh, dude, you gotta have an STD. You gotta have an STD," from an encounter with this questionable lady, I took a bottle of very fine red fruit punch. Do you remember that stuff?
Yeah.
And I made it very, we're playing cards or whatever, and I made a big show about, oh man, hurry up with this hand of cards. I got to take a whiz, right? I kept saying that over and over again to alert everybody at the table that I was going to be using the pea snowbank. And when the game was up, oh God, I got to get out of here. I got to take a whiz. And I duck out the cabin, and I poured that very fine, dark out too, right? Poured that very fine fruit punch on the pea pile and came back in to play cards and waited for the next guy to go out to take a whiz. The next guy was my brother. And he goes out to the pea pile. He comes back in. I expected my brother, I expected any of them to be very concerned. Oh my God, were you the last one to, we told you had to go see the doctor. We told you had an STD. You peed blood. My brother just comes back in, scoots his chair up to the table, starts dealing cards, and he turns to me and he goes, "You better get your pecker checked."
That's a good bit.
Yeah.
That's a really good bit. Got a text here from someone in South Carolina that says, "What's Usher's favorite dish from his girlfriend?"
Dish from his girlfriend? Pea salad?
Her peas.
Oh!
He also likes her poops. You remember that story?
No.
Yeah.
Give me some of that pee.
Some of that. Apparently he likes both.
You don't remember the Usher story?
Yeah. He
No.
likes water sports and Cleveland Steamers.
Oh, I did not know that about Usher.
And Dave Chappelle did that song?
I think that was R. Kelly.
Oh, what did you say?
Usher.
Oh, I was picturing R. Kelly. I apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that about R. Kelly. I didn't know that about Usher.
Google
Sorry.
that. I'm
Neither did I.
virtually certain he mentioned he's okay with the water sports and the Cleveland Steamer action.
I got my singers mixed up. So there you go. All my brother said, better get your pecker checked.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the concern, bro.
Headline, Usher doesn't mind getting peed or pooped on. It's good to know.
Hey, man.
What a relaxed guy.
Yeah, whatever. 1, 2, both, whatever.
I, on the other hand, would mind both of those things.
There's all types out there.
Yesterday, we were talking about, Ashley said she doesn't care. I'll get a tattoo, whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Oh.
And so we thought for the State Fair, maybe listeners and the four of us could design a tattoo that you get in henna. So it's not permanent, right?
But everyone will get to laugh at it.
Yeah, we'll all get to see it at the State Fair. You're still down with that?
Yep.
Okay. So a few people have sent in their ideas, some great stuff already. And Naked Lego Sparky Jesus said he's just listening to yesterday morning's podcast, and I mentioned that you, Ashley, should get a Mr. Yuck tattoo, a little green sticker that when we were kids, our parents would put on things that you're not supposed to drink. Stay away from. This is poisonous, Lysol, cleaning material, stuff like that. This person, Naked Lego Sparky Jesus, said he has a Mr. Yuck tramp stamp.
Dude, sweet.
That's amazing.
That is
So
so
someone
cool.
did get a Mr. Yuck tattoo.
Oh, I love that.
I would never take my shirt off.
Okay, for the record, I clicked on the headline. He was talking about like when he's changing his kids' diapers.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Well, that's a different story
It's a
then.
completely different story. Yeah, the headline is very misleading. He's talking about Usher. He doesn't mind. The headline is he doesn't mind getting pooped and peed on.
Oh.
He meant when he's changing his kids' diapers. He's like, yeah, I don't mind. It's just part of it.
Oh, that ruins it.
Yeah.
Or does that make it worse? I don't mind.
Hell, I couldn't handle that
Me either.
for 2 seconds.
I'll tell you this, when it's your own kid, it's not as bad as you think it's going to be.
Sure.
I mean, trust me,
That's the case.
it's not gross, but it's better than you think it's going to be.
You
But
know-
better than a complete stranger?
Much better, yes.
Thankfully, I'll never learn whether or not that's a true theory. Yes, Ashley.
Yeah, the first time you meet any possible kids, they'll be an adult. If you,
Yeah.
they'll ring your doorbell.
At this point,
We
sure.
have a lot to make up for.
Yes.
I even think it's gross if I have to pick up like other people's dogs' feces. Like my dogs, I'm cool with it.
Well,
but if I
it's-
have to pick up somebody else's, I'm like, oh gosh.
It's all gross. It's feces, for God's sake. Don't
Feces
don't
is
feel
gross.
funny about that. That's okay.
God, it was so funny in Kevin Hart's new special when he was talking about getting hit by poop.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I finally watched
how
that,
and why
by
did
the way.
Kevin Hart get hit by poop?
That took me out.
He was talking about a news story where someone went in to get coffee, and then some random crazy person went nuts and threw poop around the place. And someone
like
got hit
on
in the head.
command.
I couldn't handle that.
He's like, you're in the best mood at 7 a.m. Like nothing can go wrong. And then all of a sudden you get hit in the face with poop.
I get kind of nervous recommending things. People, everybody's different, and sometimes people get pissed if you wasted their time, especially comedians. That one's tough to recommend. But this Kevin Hart special on Peacock, I'd be surprised if you don't like it.
It's so good.
I mean, there were a couple times, as I mentioned when I brought it up before, I was in tears. That basketball story, that almost killed me. So if you have Peacock and you got some time, Kevin Hart, his new special, it is so good. I think it's the
glad to hear
best
it.
thing he's ever done.
Glad to hear it. Josh, are you excited to see your friend Janel Klein today on the show?
Absolutely. She's a ray of sunshine.
Jupiter Jane, Janel Klein will join the half-assed morning show at 7:30 this morning. I hope she's gotten a handle on that drinking problem. We'll find out. She'll be joining us right around the time Randy Shaver dumps all of his knowledge on us. So terrific. It's Tuesday morning. We're having a good one so far. We got to take a break, but we'll be right back on the program.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, man. This is no way to start the stupid news. This is not the way to... A priest in Greece. He got arrested for touching somebody's pee-pee. A tourist. A tourist said the priest touched him, how do you say it, inappropriately. But the priest came up with a cute excuse. He told the cops he was, quote, anointing the guy's pecker.
The balls of Christ.
The balls of Christ, and to you too.
This is from the book of Ecclesiastes.
The priest is a 49-year-old fella, and he said he, quote, anointed the man's schlong because the guy had a rash. That sounds a little shady to me. A little shady. Oh, no. No.
What?
The tourist said that while he was hanging around the monastery, is that what they call it? Do I have the right word? That's like where the priest chills out when he's not telling stories?
It's like his green room.
Is that what it is? The monastery?
I thought a monastery was where monks hung out. To practice kung fu and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, anyway, the priest is hanging around whatever a monastery is. We'll go with Josh's answer.
I'll look it up here.
Okay. The priest is hanging out there, so is this tourist, right? And the priest tells the guy, he said, he had a special gift for him in another room.
Oh,
no. Once in that room, the priest asked the guy to remove his clothes so he could anoint him with holy oil.
All right, this all still seems normal. I'm going to keep going along with it. Take my clothes off now.
Holy oil, huh?
And the poor tourist, what's it say here? From Rush City, Minnesota. What?
Get out of here.
I'm kidding. This poor tourist, he was confused by all this. He said he did not ask the priest to stop when the priest began massaging the oil all over his body, like he was at a Rick James concert or something, just covered in oil. But later that day, he filed a complaint at the neighborhood police station. It just makes me want to puke.
Yeah, I'm trying to put myself in that person's shoes. I think as soon as they said, hey, let's go back to this room, I'd start, the spidey senses would be tingling.
Yeah, something seems off there.
Well, if you're on vacation and the spot that you can't wait to visit is a church in Greece, I imagine you've got a little thing happening. You're quite the God supporter,
yeah,
right?
I would think so.
And so why wouldn't you take the word of a priest when the priest says, I need you to come into this room, I need you to take the clothes off? You got that God on the brain. Next thing you know, the two of you are covered in lamp oil. I'm
going to need you to take your pants off. Well, I guess this is a little unconventional, but... And turn to Psalm 69 in the book of Exodus.
Exodus.
That's gross, dude.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
Do you remember not remember, I believe they're still active. Are you familiar with the death metal band Exodus?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Did I tell you about the time me and my buddy Dane rode on what do you call that thing? The airport trolley, the thing that goes...
The shuttle.
The airport shuttle. Dane and I rode on an airport shuttle with Exodus.
Did you recognize him right away?
Yeah, because the night before we had seen Exodus in concert.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's the same group, dude.
Yeah, and they're standing there looking exhausted like, I can't wait to get the hell out of Milwaukee.
Did they recognize you guys, too?
Yeah. And we said, aren't you guys Exodus? They said, yeah, we're Exodus.
I'm trying to see if we have any in the system.
We saw you last night, we said. And they said, yeah, great. Look,
we were there.
We do not have them in the system, but we do have the X's.
They said, we're just trying to get to Madison, Wisconsin without you idiots bothering us. We're Exodus.
We're hungover as hell. Leave us alone.
Jesus Christ, they said. Tough gig being a priest. I mean, that is, if you're a legitimate man of God that doesn't go around touching wieners without consent. Tough gig if you're a legitimate, because as soon as one of these priests does touch a wiener, everybody looks at all priests as shady characters.
Yeah, that is true, it seems.
And also, real priests have morons like this to deal with as well. Some whack-bag effing guy without any pants on and wearing a priest's robe for some reason, broke smooth into a church in New York City, and then he went ahead and vandalized the joint, and he tuned up a couple of cops while he was at it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This unhinged dickhead here a 42-year-old guy by the name of Walter Chisholm. Oh, he was wearing a purple priestly vestment robe is what they call it here in the story. And no pants. Just D swinging.
Back and forth.
Well, he was arrested. Walter broke through a window Saturday morning, and then he mangled a crucifix that they had laying around the joint. Apparently, Jesus has let him down in one way or another. He scared the bags off a couple of church volunteers who were hanging around the place. He chased them right out the building. They say all the while, this goofy prick was saying to himself, "This is my house." And again, no pants, all balls. This is unnerving right here, Josh, if you saw something like this. When the cops walked up, they found this guy pacing back and forth with a bottle of wine in one hand and a statue of the Virgin Mary in the other.
I saw a video of this. This is the nicest church I've ever seen. There's a church that I go to sometimes, and one of the priests there's a few, is swole. Like the type of guy. Yeah, if this person that we're describing here in the Stupid News were to walk in there, he'd have no chance.
A swole priest.
Yeah.
Like David Popkins, hitting coach for the Minnesota Twins. Bigger than David Popkins. So he's got a bottle of hooch in one hand and a statue of the Virgin Mary in the other. He upped and cracked one or two of the cops in the yapper before they were able to knock him on his ass and haul him out of there. This guy, Chisholm, was charged with, all types of things. Assault on a police officer, burglary, criminal mischief, resisting arrest, having a D out. You know, the other part about legitimate priesthood, Cubby, keeping folks awake while you tell the Jesus stories. When I was a kid, those kind of stories turned my lights out like somebody was smothering me with chloroform.
It does make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when I was a kid, just instantly. You know, back in the day when the disciples, I was just... And my mother would get so mad at me.
It was tough. Boy, those midnight masses, like Easter or Christmas, going to something like that.
Oh, man.
And so I grew up Catholic, and those would be very long, and it's always so hot in there.
Ugh, that sounds awful. I'm really glad I've never had to do that.
And then the Easter one, you have the candles, so then you're dripping wax all over your hand.
Yeah.
What?
What are you doing?
And then you think this is super sexy, and that's what you're doing.
Well, why are you being covered in candle wax at church? I missed that.
I think it was Easter or Christmas. I can't remember which one.
They give you the tapers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, were you an altar boy or something?
No, they gave them out to the crowd.
I don't know about the candles. I didn't play that game.
Yeah, the whole crowd gets them, and even young little kids, and it's like, is this safe?
It doesn't sound like
Well, they probably got a fire extinguisher in the joint. My mother is very Catholic, and yeah, when it comes to Christmas, she goes to church like 3 times a day and sings in the "And I will raise you up on
eagle's
or whatever."
wings.
She goes.
You all know that.
What? We went to church
Yeah, I know, but it was just
like multiple times a week.
It surprised me. It caught me off guard.
Went to Catholic school.
Yeah.
She sings in the church choir, so come Christmas time, they have like 4 or 5 services a day, and she goes there and sings her ass off.
I remember one Christmas service, we got there late when I was a kid, so we were in like the auxiliary seating. So we weren't even in the actual church. We were in the lobby in folding chairs watching it on TV. that made it even worse.
Oh, yeah, there was an Easter service. We got there a little too late, and it was the same thing.
Yeah.
I even know who wrote that song.
Do you?
Yeah, Michael Junkus. I've met him before. Minneapolis guy.
Oh, wow.
Wrote what song?
Eagle's Wings.
A guy from Minnesota wrote...
Yeah, he wrote, like, if you go to Catholic church, a lot of those songs he wrote. Talented dude.
I remember some of the songs. You can't shake some. You know, there's another one from, like I've told you before, my mother tried to force my brother and I to go to church and be Catholic when we were kids, and we hated it, and she finally gave up on us. There's another song that I remember very vividly, aside from the Eagles' Wings. It was the one that went, I don't want to wait for
No,
my
that's
life
no. That's not a church song. That's from Dawson's Creek.
Which is some consider a religious experience.
I suppose.
You know what I just found out last week?
What? Talk to me.
One of the ladies that like works for the church, like actually gets paid for them, is on 90 Day Fiancé.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
I was like, weird.
Which church?
I was
just a church?
Weird.
Yeah, what church?
The one that I go to. I don't know if I should.
your church.
Yeah, I don't know
that's cool.
if I should say the church name.
Well, that's fine. We didn't know what you meant there. So you're saying from your church?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
neat.
she's on the TLC show 90 Day Fiancé.
And you were like, what again?
What was I like?
You were like,
weird.
You were like, weird.
Weird.
Well, I'll share a church story. One of the ladies that was paid to work at the church I went to jail for a year for embezzling from said church.
Oh.
That'll get you on God's bad side for sure.
Yeah, you don't like that.
You're going to have to repent for that.
Unbelievable.
A couple Hail Marys, you'll be good.
We give our gal Smashley here, we give her a lot of hell for being late a lot because she's late a lot.
Almost daily.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say, Ashley? Is that fair to say? Your silence says it all.
And going back a few years, there was a dude who worked here with us for a stretch of time that was famous for his terrible excuses for all of his mistakes. We were very entertained by his ridiculous excuses. So speaking of being late to work and terrible excuses, this is a brand new bit. So you chronically late people should fall in line with this one. The new excuse is called time blindness. Hey, dude, you're a half hour late. What happened? I've been blinded by time. All right.
That's so good.
I guess it is a real thing, sort of. It's very boring. Should I go through all of this, Josh?
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
And I especially like her talking about it.
And yeah, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled.
All right, then.
Do you think she's on time for movies or concerts or things she wants to go to?
What was that lady saying? Like our current concept of time
It's
should
not
be
fair to penalize people who can't get places on time.
because of time blindness.
That's right.
All right. That's ridiculous. It says here, I'll blow through this as fast as I can. It's not an actual medical condition, but doctors use time blindness as a way of talking about the concept of losing track of time. And some people can be more prone is how you say it. Some people can be more prone to it than others. Our brains are constantly shifting between two types of attention: automatic attention and directed attention. Automatic attention is your happy place. It's how you focus when you're doing something you like or find interesting. Directed attention is what you use when you're engaged in things you have to do, but don't really want to do. During periods of automatic attention, you can get so engrossed and hyper-focused that you lose track of time. But during directed attention, it can be hard to stay focused at all. Time blindness happens when people have trouble balancing the two. Okay?
I think that, I have a person in my family who is late constantly, to the point where we call, we say this person's name and we call it, let's say, Dana time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there on Dana time.
Oh, yeah.
And I think what happens is they say, okay, I got to be somewhere at 7 a.m. At 7 a.m., they go, well, I better start getting ready.
Yeah.
Like, that's the cutoff for them. For whatever reason, that's just how they think.
Do you ever then tell that person? Because we have a friend in our group of friends where we tell him, like, say we need to leave somewhere by a certain time. We tell him a half an hour early than we actually intend to leave, so that he might have a chance to be there on time.
Yep, that's exactly what we do. But they've caught on.
Oh, they have?
See? That's pretty messed up.
If you're having trouble getting places on time, there are some tips. Set a timer on your phone to alert you when it's time to move on. You're playing video games, whatever. Set a timer on your phone that tells you, look, you got to put down the Xbox and get ready to go, Summers.
I try to do that during the day a lot because I told you guys before, the naps get ridiculous. Like, if I don't force myself to wake up from my naps, I could sleep for like 6 hours during the day.
I like to sleep. They also say, when you don't have a lot of time to spare, try to avoid activities that you know you have a tendency to get lost in. Again, video games, your favorite television show, porno movies.
TV gets me every time.
Time blindness.
I get too stressed if I'm late. I like to be way early, so I don't have to worry about it. Like I'm actually, right now, I'm here for work tomorrow. I don't want to be late.
Do you ever get somewhere too early, Josh, and then just like sit in your car for a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you're not the weird one?
Yeah.
People are texting in saying, so what's the difference between time blindness and ADHD or
ADHD.
ADD?
It's the same thing.
It is?
I don't know.
One's just
That
like an
affects
outdated term.
Well, ADD or ADHD can affect you getting someplace on time?
It
I don't know.
affects a lot of different aspects of your life, honestly. It's hard to really remember all of them.
To me, ADHD sounds legitimate, and time blindness is something lazy people are trying to jam down our throats to make them feel better or get us off their ass for being late all the time.
Time blindness. Yeah,
Right.
that's the ticket.
Oh, I was blinded by the time.
This person says, the military's made me panic if I'm late for even the most unimportant things. Time blindness, my ass, they say.
Josh made a good point right from the get-go. You think these people are ever late for a concert or their own birthday party or something? No, hell no, they're on time. All right, apparently folks in Hong, F me running Kong, they don't like cigarette smokers much. As a matter of fact, the health minister of Hong Kong, a guy they call Professor Lo Chung Mao, he's gone as far, listen to this, he's gone as far as to urge non-smoking citizens to stare at smokers
Don't do that.
in a disapproving way to try to get them to knock it off with the smoking.
Dude, I'd love that.
They're trying to create a tobacco-free city over there in Hong Kong.
That's good.
Lo Chung Mao said people who have a puffy puff in areas where it is prohibited are unlikely to, quote, hit back, whatever he means by that, if everyone stares at them.
I'm still going to smoke, man.
When the members of the public, he says, see people smoking in non-smoking areas, even if no law enforcement officers can show up immediately, we can stare at them. That's his idea, to create some scene from the old Twilight Zone television series in order to get smokers to stop. Everyone just simultaneously turns and bum-bum-bum-bum.
I don't know. Maybe I would eventually, get really weirded out by that and just not do it anymore.
What if every time you lit up a cigarette, actually, I just show up out of nowhere and just stare at you?
That would be kind of, yeah.
You're like up
unnerving.
north at a cabin, all of a sudden I'm just there, looking at you, judging you.
It'd be worse if you were 2 inches away from my face or something.
He's kind of... this Low guy also said that they're going to use surveillance footage to track smokers who light up in restricted areas.
I can't imagine going along with such a thing. No matter how I felt about smoking, just looking at somebody I am so disappointed in you.
They're trying
Shame
out,
on you.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. They're trying out all kinds of new strategies to try and squash cigarette smoking, including banning people born after a certain date from buying cigarettes altogether.
Oh.
Or tossing a 75% sales tax on a single pack of lung darts.
Ooh. Well, I wonder, what is the sales tax on cigarettes? Anybody know?
No.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm paying almost $11 for a pack of cigarettes.
Dude.
And that's the problem, is you can jack the price up as much as you want, but you're still going to smoke.
Big Tobacco's listening to you, Wapple.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you tried the choking game? That's free. That's totally free. By the way, for the record, don't try the choking game. Do not try it.
No, don't do that.
Let me try it. I'm going to try it. So, Wapple, how much did you say you're paying a pack? $11.
Yeah, just about.
Compare that to like marijuana. Like what size bag or however you buy it? What do you usually get?
Oh, boy, maybe like quarter.
A quarter. So how long would a quarter last you?
That would last maybe a week and a half.
What about a pack of cigarettes?
That would last me maybe 3 days.
Okay. How much is a bag of whatever you're buying, weed?
About $150.
Whoa, is that expensive?
$120. No.
Wait.
For a quarter ounce?
Yeah.
No. Not expensive.
Wait a minute. How much did you say it was? $150?
Yeah.
Oh, to me that seems expensive. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know it was that much.
But I mean, then cigarettes, I probably go through maybe 5-6 packs of cigarettes a week. So I mean, that's almost $90.
So I got a text here saying in Minnesota, cigarette sales tax is over $4 a pack. Wow.
Yeah.
$110 a carton, says Park and Rec. Jesus.
Cans of chewing tobacco are just as ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Did they have the same? I bet they have the same tax or something similar.
I wouldn't know a single thing about it.
Yeah, it'd be a tobacco tax.
Wouldn't know anything about it, but a can of chew is ridiculous. Another one of these deals here. An English woman suddenly woke up with a Welsh accent. Now, I wouldn't know a Welsh accent if you were banging me with it, but...
6 days ago, I woke up with this accent. Literally, I open my eyes, open my mouth, and I'm Welsh. Never in my life have I been able to do an accent, and here I am, rocking it.
We've heard these stories before. Folks take a hard shot to the cranium, or they just simply wake up one day and they have a completely different accent than they've ever had afore. This here English woman is looking for help from anybody. She suddenly developed a strong Welsh accent despite having never been to Welsh. Her name is Zoe Coles. She's freaked out. She says about her new accent, she says, quote, "I think it's stuck." This nightmare started 6 weeks ago.
And she's never been to Welsh, you said?
Never once.
Never been to Welsh.
It's called foreign accent syndrome, I believe. I'm not sure when it's going to go. I don't know anything about it. I'm just raising awareness.
She said she originally developed a German accent? Oh, you know who can do a great German accent? Josh, check this out. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, top of the morning to you, laddie.
Yeah. That's good.
Perfect, dude. Perfect.
Nailed it.
Then after the German accent, it turned over to whatever a Welsh accent sounds like. I guess we heard it right there. She believes she has developed foreign accent syndrome. Very rare. It changes how you speak. This is very strange, of course. I have a problem buying some of these stories, but anyway, she says she's looking for help. She's afraid she has a terrible neurological condition. She also says she's in chronic pain. She doesn't say where it hurts. So, damn, that's a hell of a deal. She went ahead and said that she's willing to be a guinea pig to get to the bottom of what's going the F on with her noggin. She says to doctors out there who might know something or another about foreign accent syndrome, she says, start with me. I'll be a guinea pig. It's driving her crazy.
Man.
Yeah, that would bother me.
Anytime I hear stories like this, I feel like I got ripped off that I never got anything cool happen to me after a concussion. Because I got one in middle school where I was knocked completely out.
Word?
Dang.
Knocked out cold. No accent, I didn't, wake up and knew how to juggle chainsaws or anything like that.
Lame.
Back
Not
to,
even worth
back
it.
to just being an average dude.
Yeah. Well, we can give you another shot to the noggin here.
Yeah.
Is there a language or an accent you'd like to have?
I mean, any language would be cool, but maybe a British accent would be fun.
Hey,
British?
Wapple.
I'd like the Australian accent.
Yeah, you like that one?
Nick's good at that. Can you do your Australian for us?
Well, I'll tell you right now.
I forgot the bit. Oh, we turn them into Canadians.
Yes, you go Canadian.
You were crossing bits there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shay Shorzy. Hey, what's going on, eh?
Hey, Wapple, by the way, are you checking text?
No.
We are getting blown up with people saying you're getting ripped off on how much you're paying for weed. Ripped off, I tell you. You got to get a different supplier.
You're spending too much on weed, they say.
No more going to Pablo for your weed, man. Try Lindsay.
Josh, light of my life. We got to close this segment down, but first, I have to admit that when I read the headline to this here next story, I thought it said, "Man caught on video peeing bananas." And I thought, finally, someone who has a penile issue that Josh hasn't experienced yet. Because you're always having troubles with your hog.
Yeah, that's true.
But the headline actually is a man was caught on video peeling bananas before buying them to save money.
Oh, they weigh less. Yep. Okay.
It's a TikTok video that rolled into town recently where some dode removes the banana peels so when he has to go ahead and weigh them at the self-checkout, he might be able to save himself a nickel.
Oh, I can't imagine. Like, what if we had to do that? You have to peel your oranges, your bananas. Ugh.
Oh, I mean, is that a loophole?
I think so. That's like the heaviest part, isn't it?
I would think so.
I have arithmetic in front of me, okay? The peel accounts for 31 to 33% of the total weight of the banana. So this guy's getting 33% off? I don't know.
It's a big chunk.
Do grocery stores allow this, or will they just throw me out on my ass if I'm ridiculous enough to peel the bananas and bring them up to the stinking counter?
I don't think you can.
Your unpeeled bananas just going down that grimy, conveyor belt. Or your peeled bananas, I mean.
The only thing that you can peel or whatever it is, I'm not sure what terminology you use, is the corn at the grocery store.
You can huck. Oh, yeah. Yep. They have the garbage cans right there.
Yep.
You're right.
Just imagine one of those filled with banana peels. It's all rotten.
This was a girlfriend, and I don't know if this is just a gimmick for the internet. It's always possible, but this girlfriend posted the video of her boyfriend doing this banana peel bit. He peels them before he brings them up to the stinking counter so he can try to save some money. Some people commented by saying, you should break up with this guy, because others said you should marry him. There's a lot of people out there who are incredibly cheap.
That's funny.
Oh, there are people out there who are cheap.
My first thought was, she's not getting a ring anytime soon.
And then, of course, there were people who missed the point completely and mentioned that banana peels are actually edible.
Oh, God.
Thank you, master of the 5 food groups or whatever it was.
Gross.
I've missed the point completely, and I'm going to show you how smart I am. Banana peels are actually you go ahead and eat a banana peel then.
They actually are quite dangerous. I have a friend, he was riding a go-kart once, and he hit a banana peel, and he spun out. It was a bad scene.
For Christ's sake, this is the end of the stupid news. You're going to try to... That's your attempt at an out. This is where we need the good stuff. Wapple, talk to your friend. He's trying to dump a Mario Kart joke on us.
You know what? I'm going to pretend you're a Japanese smoker, and I'm just going to look at you disapprovingly.
I feel great, Shane.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You know how sometimes you have a dream and then you wake up and you feel like you can't move? I felt that, and I woke up, it was like 3 a.m., went to go take a pee and, came back, fell right asleep. That next night, the same thing happened. Like there was something else in the room. Just felt like when I woke up, there was something holding on to me. It was the freakiest thing. I'm getting chills talking about it right now, but that's never happened to me before.
Here's Sam Darnold on the mic.
Seeing ghosts.
Seeing ghosts. That's not good.
Isn't that weird? I mean, this Sam Darnold, who does he quarterback for? Carolina now?
49ers.
49ers, for Pete's sake. He's been all over the place. Years ago, he's quarterbacking for the Jets. He's on the sideline. He makes some comment about how he's struggling by saying, I'm seeing ghosts. And now he cannot shake that. People have been running with that seeing ghosts. And so now he makes a comment. He was staying at George Kittle's house.
Yep.
Who also was a tight end, I believe, for the 49ers. Who is a tight end, not also. And he said he thinks the joint is haunted, and then everyone runs with it again.
Yeah, he believes it's a haunted house.
All right, Sam Darnold. We'll go along with it. The Twins are in Seattle for a couple more days playing the Mariners. Last night's game, Twin starter Sonny Gray looked terrific for the first 4 innings, and then the 5th inning completely sucked. The Mariners batted around, scored 4 times, and that helped them beat the Twins 7-6. 7-6. Strudel hit a 3-run dong in the 9th that made the Mariners sweat it out a little bit. Ashley, did you see the Strudel, Max Kepler, trip over his baseball bat and fall down trying to get to first base?
No, I didn't.
Not on this 3-run home run because he could take his time.
I was going to say the 3-run home run is on 93x.com. I didn't see that.
Yeah, he had a double earlier in the game, and he tripped over his bat as he was leaving the batter's box. He looked like a drunk uncle at a holiday party.
Oh, cute. I have to find this.
Look up Strudel tripping over a bat. It was pretty funny.
Oh, there he goes.
They'll go again tonight. Bailey Ober's going to pitch. Bailey Ober. Isn't he cute? Even when he falls down like that?
Aw.
We'll talk to Randy and Janel Klein here in a half hour. Stay tuned for Josh's news report.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Mr. Len Penzo's here. Now when I buy something, I'm like, can actually spend any time with this thing. Len, I would imagine you've got to think about that too when you're buying stuff.
You know, before I was retired, if I wanted something, I bought it. I don't care what it was. The Kings were in the Stanley Cup Finals, and me and the Honeybee, I mean, we didn't even think about it. $3,600 on 2 tickets. Now that I'm retired, those days are gone.
The Stacking Benjamin Show, available on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
It's gruesome. There were fingers in the street, and I ran across the street and wrapped it around the gardener's arm.
Yucky. Home surveillance cameras captured the moment an illegal firework exploded in a California neighborhood, causing severe injury to a gardener working in a yard. Hector Mayoral and his brother were working July 8th when he noticed what he thought looked like a golf ball near his work truck. But when he picked the object up, thinking it was trash, it immediately exploded.
I see this ball on the ground, touch or take it out in my hand. You want one explosion.
He didn't know what exactly it was, and it just blew up instantly.
The blast took off most of his left hand, burned much of his face, and affected his sight, unfortunately.
Jesus.
Ken Lucas, who lived across the street and whose home surveillance cameras captured that explosion, heard it from his backyard and ran to help. Police say what looked like a small ball surrounded by other trash was likely a leftover firework from the 4th of July.
And this guy's hand is just gone, skis?
Yeah, fingers everywhere.
Son of a bee, there were fingers in the street.
Landed in glove compartments and ashtrays and all over the place.
Fingers everywhere.
I hate that one.
Ring surveillance video caught a naked man with a hammer smashing the front window of a home in the early morning hours of July 1st in Washington State.
We got images of a man coming up to our front door and just kind of standing there and then walking back away.
He was still resistant and refused to leave after we've asked him to leave. He didn't leave the property until I was on the phone with 911.
Police identified the suspect as 34-year-old Eric Johnson. In his alleged smashing spree, he hit several of his neighbors' homes and vehicles. Neighbors said up until Johnson moved into their street at the beginning of the year, their neighborhood had been quiet. A neighbor said they don't know him too well, but their surveillance cameras quickly became familiar with his presence. One neighbor said she had 4 of her windows broken. Another believes she was also targeted the night of July 1st because of a prior altercation with the suspect.
I was hoping that he wasn't going to be mad and, take it out on me for getting him arrested, but given the video clip of my ring, he was definitely angry.
My God.
You are a criminal.
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah. Ring camera footage showed Johnson allegedly breaking her front window. She said her bedroom window and the windshield of her truck also broken. Neighbors said they're afraid to leave their homes or go about their normal daily routines because they might run into him again.
What happened I never thought could happen, and now it's what else is going to happen after this.
It's fear. I mean, it's straight up just terror that if he gets out, I know he's coming for me.
He was arrested July 2nd around 8 a.m. after a SWAT standoff outside his home. He also has several open harassment cases. That poor neighborhood.
Maybe we ought to keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah, he sounds so scary.
He's locked up as we speak, Cubby?
I don't know if he bailed out or not, but they did arrest him. Hopefully he can stay behind bars.
You got any inside information on the naked?
I'd imagine the exertion from, swinging the hammer, breaking windows and stuff would raise your body temperature.
And he had to get the clothes off. Okay.
Police arrested a 45-year-old Florida man Wednesday after he stripped nude in the water at a beach and tried to get two young girls to swim with him.
Oh.
He later tried to use a medical condition as an excuse for bathing in the buff.
Sure.
According to an arrest report from the Key West Police Department, the girls told officers they were playing in the water when Claude Bazzo approached. He took off his red shorts and began swimming naked. The girls said that he tried multiple times to get the girls, described as obviously prepubescent and wearing two-piece bikinis, to come with him and go swimming while he was naked in the water. A relative took the girls out of the water and confronted Bazzo, who was still naked, the report states. He immediately started yelling at her, making statements that he's an attorney and he would sue her.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The woman called 911 after taking photographs of the unclothed Bazzo, along with the silver van he got into following the confrontation. He spoke to police and became immediately defensive, saying the lady at the beach was taking pictures of him for no reason and he did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Although he did later admit to being nude when they showed him pictures of him nude.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was naked.
Now that you jogged my memory.
He said he was only naked at the time, though, because he suffers from eczema, and the salt water soothes the chafing from sitting inside his van all day.
Does it really?
He's got a van.
So.
Be more of a cliche, you dirtbag.
Very dry. That would not help.
He was arrested and is facing several charges. I forget, did I send this to you, Ashley, to post his mugshot? I'll have to send this to you.
He's cute.
There's no way you want him as your lawyer if he is indeed a lawyer. No way. A driver in Tulsa, Oklahoma, put the brakes on last week to tackle a suspect he saw running from police. This video is on 93x.com. I love this kind of thing.
Yep.
According to the Tulsa Police Department, the incident began when officers stopped a man and a woman in the city's downtown area Thursday to question them. Police ordered the man, who lied and said his name was David, to have a seat on the curb. He started to walk toward the curb as if he was going to sit down, but then took off running instead, making his way across multiple lanes of traffic. Body cam footage of the foot pursuit shows two officers chasing the suspect, one of them calling in his description and their location. During that foot pursuit, a man stopped his pickup truck, jumped out, and tackled the suspect.
You got knocked the out, man!
An officer who wasn't far behind then arrested the suspect, and the Good Samaritan walked back to his pickup.
We're going northbound on Denver, coming up to 11th Street, Hispanic male, black t-shirt, gray shorts. Man, bro.
As he said in the clip there, he didn't do nothing, homie. We love our citizens and greatly appreciate all the support that we get from you. This was definitely a case of 110% support, Tulsa PD said. Miguel Fernandez was arrested for resisting arrest and possession of drug paraphernalia. Police said he also had felony warrants for burglary, conspiracy, larceny, and illegal firearm possession.
So just some average Tom, Dick, or Harry slammed him down on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
huh?
Tackled him good. A St. Paul man who tried to flee a Ramsey County courtroom over a 4-year prison sentence last week is now facing even more time behind bars for an escape attempt. The 21-year-old was in court last Monday when the incident happened. According to a criminal complaint, he became visibly upset when the judge handed down a 48-month sentence on a drive-by shooting charge. Approximately 10 seconds later, as deputies were preparing to escort him back to the holding cell, he went into a full sprint and bolted through the public gallery toward the main public exit, the charges say. Mistaking a closet door for the exit, his escape was foiled.
Oh, dude.
I am very embarrassed and angry.
No, this is where I meant to be. I wanted to go in here.
Yeah, do you go in the closet at that point? You don't turn around, you go in.
I'm just grabbing my umbrella and then I'm out of here. When deputies took him into custody, he said, "You'd do the same thing if you just got 48 months. The man's now charged with 1 count of attempted escape from custody, 3 counts of 4th-degree assault on a peace officer. If convicted on the new charges, he faces a further 8 years in prison and nearly $20,000 in fines.
Dang, man. It's an expensive closet.
I bet they were laughing their asses off.
Oh, yeah. How do you not?
A man dressed as a woman walked into 3 Texas banks this month and handed tellers sticky notes with threatening messages demanding cash, earning the nickname the Sticky Note Bandit.
It's not very cool.
The man left 2 of the Houston area banks with undisclosed sums. During the last 2 robberies, he wore a black wig, black sunglasses, a blue medical mask, a green women's style sweater, black women's ballet flats, and he carried a black purse, the FBI said.
Jesus Christ.
I gotta say, hot legs.
Yeah?
I mean, honestly, hot legs. He then allegedly handed the tellers threatening notes on sticky notes demanding cash.
Well, I was standing in line, and I was the next up to the window. You know, when you're in a bad situation, you feel it.
During a July 11th robbery, the teller walked away from the counter and locked themselves in the back room for safety. The FBI said the suspect remained in the bank lobby for a short time, then fled the scene on foot without any money. But according to the FBI, he did leave a July 13th robbery with an undisclosed sum. So 2 out of 3, he was able to get some cash. And look hot doing it.
Yeah.
2 drivers slammed into each other on a Virginia road, wrecking their vehicles while miraculously avoiding any injuries. Strangely enough, both were driving the same make and model of car, but stupidly enough, one of the drivers was high while the other was drunk.
Yin, yin, yang.
Deputies arrived Thursday night after receiving a call of 2 vehicles colliding, with one swerving into the wrong lane. The car, a silver Honda Civic, crossed the center double yellow line and struck an oncoming blue Honda Civic, which was knocked off the road. Police found the driver of the silver Civic, an 18-year-old man, was driving while in the possession of a controlled substance and with a suspended license. Meanwhile, the 59-year-old woman the teen slammed into was found to have a strong alcoholic odor. Field sobriety tests determined she'd been driving while intoxicated when she collided with the teen. The 18-year-old was arrested for driving under the influence of drugs, driving with a suspended license, reckless driving, and possession of a controlled substance. The woman was arrested for driving under the influence, her second such offense over the past decade. Ah, the irony.
Yeah.
Then in Wisconsin, a crash early Sunday ended with both drivers involved getting arrested. Just after 2:25 a.m., a 31-year-old Madison man crossed the middle line and collided with a truck driven by a 26-year-old Sun Prairie man. After police investigated that crash, both drivers were arrested for operating while intoxicated. A burrito thrown by a woman at a Florida restaurant missed its intended target, instead hitting a male victim in the face.
What the hell, bro?
Hello, neighbor.
Did you just throw a burrito out your window?
I believe I did.
What are you, high or something?
Investigators were called Wednesday night to Rick's Reef, a St. Pete Beach eatery, due to the female subject yelling at customers. The woman in question was 46-year-old Sarah Cochera, who lives with her boyfriend just down the road from Rick's.
Sarah Cochera.
That's right. A witness told police Cochera was in a verbal dispute with a man and at one point threw a burrito at him, but the airborne burrito didn't strike the man with whom she quarreled. Instead, the Mexican delicacy hit an unrelated victim in the face. Cochera departed the restaurant before cops arrived, but she remained nearby and was not cooperative with deputies.
She wasn't cooperative.
Not at all. She was arrested last month for allegedly punching her 66-year-old boyfriend in the face during an argument. Cochera's LinkedIn profile lists her as a financial advisor with a financial service company in the Tampa Bay area.
She sounds like a real peach.
A pair of southern Minnesota rest stops are in the running for the #1 or possibly #2 spot on a list of America's best bathrooms.
Son of a bitch.
The Clear Lake and Des Moines River Safety Rest Areas in Jackson are among the 10 finalists for Cintas's America's Best Restroom Award. Located on either side of Interstate 90 and open 24 hours every day, the rest stops are flush with amenities and overflowing with elegant design. The SRAs share a similar design language that focuses on cleanliness, durability, safety, and inclusion, as well as strives to exceed the user's expectations, Cintas said. The America's Best Restroom Award honors the Porcelain Pioneers, who are taking dramatic steps to create unforgettable facilities, quote unquote. Previous Minnesota winners include the Varsity Theater in Dinkytown and the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. If you want to ensure the Minnesota entrants wipe away the rest of the competition, you can through August 11th on 93x.com.
Best rest stop in the area, huh?
Yeah, best restroom.
Restroom?
Yeah, it happens to be a couple of rest stops.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's kind of squashing the negative stereotype of your average rest stop.
Definitely.
That a couple of their bathrooms could be up for best bathroom. Because for the longest time, all we ever assumed is that folks go to rest stops for an HJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's changing.
You go there for a sex act, and then if you got to pee, you get on the road.
And you can check the map.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always a massive map there that shows you. Can I tell you a dramatic rest stop story? It's very, it's a true story too. When my dad was maybe about 45 years old, and his older brother's dead now, but his older brother would have been about 52 at the time. So grown men. They were unfortunately on a road trip with their mother, my grandmother, and they stopped at the rest area because my dad's older brother had to take a whiz bang. And my dad's older brother hopped out the pickup, and my grandmother said to my dad, well, aren't you going to go with him? And my dad said, he's a 52-year-old man. He can take a piss on his own. And my grandma flipped out and said, we will go to the bathroom, and we will go to the bathroom as a family.
Okay.
And my dad said, okay, crazy woman. I guess we all have to get out the...
Today on Hulu, Justified City Primeval. 15 years after Raylan Givens left the hollers of Kentucky, a chance encounter in the Florida swamp sends him to Detroit and places him on a collision course with a violent sociopath. Episode 1 of I Wanna Rock the 80s Metal Dream is streaming now on Paramount Plus.
I Wanna Rock the 80s Metal Dream?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
I can't wait to hear about it.
The new docuseries chronicles the trials and tribulations of 80s glam metal, shining a light on 5 artists who experienced success and struggles in equal measure.
Cubby?
Yeah?
Can you say the 5 bands that are involved, and then I can give a word or a no word?
Yeah, but I'm worried you're going to unword one that I personally would word.
You can deal with that.
I can deal with it, but it will sting a little bit.
Then we can argue word versus no word.
Skid Row.
Yeah, word.
Oh, yes. Okay, that's what I was worried about.
Their first record is very good.
Oh, yeah. First record, one of my favorites.
The second record's overrated as hell. I got so sick of everybody talking about Slave to the Grind.
I'm with you on that. I liked it, but I totally agree it's overrated.
You know what would have made Slave to the Grind better? If Skid Row would have shut up about Slave to the Grind in the months leading up to it. Yeah. Oh, this is the hardest record of all time. This is totally unlike our first record. We're so hard. We're so hard. We're so hard. And by the way, we're so hard.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Okay.
That first record, though. Gosh, that's good.
So these are the bands that are going to be talked to about the old days.
Yeah.
Skid Row, word.
Twisted Sister.
Oh, ultimate word.
Mr. Big Wiener. I mean, Winger.
Winger? Absolutely word. Terrific, talented. I'll see him every chance I get.
Vixen. They're okay.
They had a couple of catchy songs.
They sure did.
Not something I'd leave the house for.
I mean, not to the level of the previous
Of course.
The Scream.
I've heard the name many times. Wasn't that John Corabi's band?
I think so.
Before he
that's
joined.
about as far as I can go. I'm pretty sure it was John Corabi.
Never listened to much of The Scream.
John Corabi, decent singer, though. I'd be interested. Maybe we'll learn something we like about these. Again, that's called I Wanna Rock the 80s Metal Dream on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus.
Then on Vice today, Dark Side of the 2000s, from outrageous shock jocks and record-breaking reality TV to the rise of celebrity gossip and the downward spiral of a child star. The untold tales of the new millennium all have a dark side. The 2023 Shaver Shuffle 5K, it's back this August. You can join everyone Saturday, August 5th, 9 a.m. in Plymouth, or sign up to run virtually any day of the month of August.
Didn't you say this year you're going to do it backwards?
I am, yeah. Finally, just to give other people a chance. I dominate that thing every year. All participants will be entered into a drawing for a pair of Apple AirPod Pros. They also have great prizes for the winners in several categories. Registration open now through August 3rd. You can check out our website for more information and to register.
How many years in a row have you done the Shaver Shuffle, and you always bring a gang of people out there?
Well, yeah, the last couple we've done virtually, but we've been a part of every single one.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun event. Kristen Bell, 43 today. Vin Diesel, 56. And that's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
You're a creep. What are you doing? What happened to you?
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
But yeah, I mean, I've made plenty of stupid comments, plenty of mistakes. Call the guy the wrong name, have the wrong timeouts, drawn the wrong picture on the The penis illustrator dong. That's tough.
Yeah.
There's so many things in NFL football that look like penises.
Yeah.
I can't even. And there's a lot of like very questionable verbiage that's used in NFL football that penetration, come inside.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that like you got to be careful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There's times where I'm like, here's a safety, and you want to show like that third little zone, and you're like, nope.
Yep.
Delete. Clear screen. You're like, I am not gonna be the guy.
Hey, Mr. Happy.
You talking to me?
Yeah, Mr. Vacation.
Yeah.
More time off than anyone deserves. Randy Shaver.
Boy, I guess.
Joins us. Randy Stay-at-Home Shaver.
That's going to be it.
Randy Shelter-in-Place Shaver. Joining us. Jungle Jane is here.
Good morning.
She works for a living.
She does.
She's a working girl. Well, wait a minute.
No.
Whoa.
But she is a part of America's oldest profession. That doesn't work either.
No.
Being a reporter, I mean, that goes back a while.
That goes back. Decades, even. Hi, Jungle Jane.
Hi.
How was your weekend? What'd you do with your weekend, Janel Klein?
Nothing exciting.
Huh?
No.
I doubt that.
Hell? Randy, what'd you do with your weekend? Randy?
With my weekend?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I did over the weekend.
That's the life.
That is.
Really? Isn't that great, Wapo?
Yeah,
Do you know what day it is, Randy?
I know today's Tuesday. That's all I know.
It's like retired folks never know what friggin' day it is.
I know.
Janelle, are you at the point now with your friends where they just assume you haven't done anything?
Pretty
over the
much.
weekend?
Pretty much.
I'm at that point because instead of asking what I did over the weekend, a buddy of mine yesterday is like, so what'd you watch over the weekend?
Yeah.
Well, why would you assume I just watched something and didn't do anything?
That and like I think they've given up asking me like, do you want to go to this loud bar and get hammered? And what I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah,
No?
you're almost frustrated.
What?
Like if you had somebody say, yeah, you guys want to go to dinner? We're going to meet there about 8:30.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with you?
Why?
That's too late.
Janelle, something tells me you don't have many friends who actually say, do you want to go get hammered? That's how my buddies talk.
I have a few.
One of my buddies refers to it as getting crushed.
Getting crushed.
Anybody want to go out and get crushed?
No.
That's fun. I like that one.
All right, Janelle, so you didn't have anything go on over the weekend?
Not like that.
I get it.
Work, nothing?
Not really, no. It's been quiet.
What is next for you? Do you have anything planned, or is it going to be one of those just on-call
You know what?
deals?
I'm doing something next week that'll be kind of fun for Good Morning America, and we're highlighting the food at Target Field.
What?
That's exciting. That'll be fun.
You're going to be on Good Morning America.
I'm-
They'll
So
check in with you
what?
live, and you'll be walking around the ballpark?
It
or-
won't be me. I'm coordinating it all. They're flying somebody in, and I don't know who it is, but
Randy, you had a question?
Why Target Field? What's so special
You know,
about that?
they have a series where they're going around to different ballparks in America. I think they're calling it Seventh Inning Snacks. Cute, kind of cute.
Sure.
And actually, I did something for them a while back, and they were telling me about this, and I said, you should really come to Minneapolis. We have great food at our ballpark, which I think we do. You know, if you've gone to
Sure.
other baseball stadiums, we are not, just hot dogs and popcorn.
Right.
We actually
Right.
have pretty great food over there. So
Right.
anyway, yeah, they latched onto that, and they're coming, and it should be fun.
How many hot dogs can you go through on Dollar Dog Night, Janelle Klein?
3.
Maybe 3?
You can
Pretty
really
good.
get through? That's impressive.
Yeah.
3's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's
pretty good.
National Hot Dog Day.
Is that right?
You think you'll
it
celebrate?
No, but I did make sure. We haven't talked about this. I love that little Joey Chestnut, and I did watch again this year. I never missed that little hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, I
It's
watched
fun,
this
right?
year, too.
God, I love that.
The announcers make it so good, too.
So great.
There was like an hour and a half rain delay
Yes.
to this year's
Yes.
hot dog eating contest.
Yep.
And Joey,
Wasn't it postponed and he decided no, that's not what's going to happen?
He was like, "This is on."
oh really?
Yeah.
So Joey
Yeah.
Chestnut was the one who said, "Look, we're not
Yep.
not
He
going
came
to
walking
suspend
back
this
out.
any."
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. Nice to have you in studio, Janelle.
Thank you.
Randy Shaver, our intro there. Do you enjoy Greg Olson when you're watching football on television? The way he,
Yeah, I think he's okay.
the way he contributes to a ball game.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
He was interviewed there by somebody or another. And he was,
Pardon my take.
Pardon My Take television show. And he said he tries hard to avoid drawing penises on his telestrator. He doesn't want to be the D guy.
Sure.
He says.
Sure.
He also said there are so many things in football that look like penises. Now, there's room for a Karen Rogers joke, I guess, if anybody wants it.
There's always room for a Karen Rogers joke.
They say here he's emerged as one of the NFL's most popular analysts.
He has. He's done a nice job.
But he knows the goodwill can quickly deteriorate if he makes the mistake of drawing penises on a telestrator during a live broadcast.
I would say no. I would say that would raise your
visibility for sure.
Yes,
I would. I'd become a fan. That's
would
always
raise your
fun.
profile.
He kind of fears the penis. He doesn't want to be a pecker sketcher on live television.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember watching a football program of one sort or another where even my guy, football's greatest television personality, my guy Booger McFarland drew a big fat wang on a telestrator once.
Did anybody make mention of it?
Yeah, I think they caught him in the act and everybody started. Text message just came in from East Winstead Jesus. He says, Nick, I'm checking in from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Boy, this place sucks.
Well, you're not in the right part of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Boy, you know what a guy...
Go to the front of Jefferson High School and you'll find my statue. You'll be at the right place.
You know a place blows when a guy from Winstead is making comments about it. My God, I thought I was hearing... Randy Shaver's hometown is Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
That's correct.
Where was the place to be on a Friday or Saturday night?
Leonardo's Pizza.
It's
It's still there. It is still there. It has not changed.
Last time you were there, did you stop and get a slice at Leonardo's?
I did not. Last time I was there, I wasn't there very long. So Leonardo's is one of those places, it's a hangout place, so you got to have some time.
All right.
But if you were to Google Leonardo's Pizza, you will see that they still have the signature red leather booths that you would sit in back in the day. Yeah, hasn't changed at all.
That's nice when a place stays the same like that.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's cool.
I like that too.
Dig that. Well, the Twins in Seattle there, Randy, playing the Mariners.
Sonny Gray, not a happy camper last night.
Well, god dang, he looked so terrific through four innings, and then in the fifth inning, he completely loses command of his pitches.
Yeah.
And the Mariners take advantage. They bat around. They score 4 times, and that was kind of the beginning of what ended up being a 7-6 win for Seattle. The Strudel hits a 3-run dong in the 9th that made it interesting.
Yeah.
Deep to right field. Down the line and gone. A 3-run home run for Max Kepler, and it's a 1-run game.
People are telling me via text they're looking up Leonardo's Pizza and they're getting hammered with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons.
That's awesome.
Another listener says, I bet you Iowegians dip your pizza in ketchup.
Oh,
gross.
We would never do that.
They got a hamburger pizza that looks really good.
I'll tell you what,
They're
Wobble.
really good.
Oof. I'll tell you what. So, yeah, Sonny Gray, he fought like hell, and it looked so good for starters. Right. I mean, there was a bases-loaded walk in there. He threw a wild pitch that led to led a guy home from third.
Very uncharacteristic, but this is the reason why he's 4-4. He's just not been able, lately anyway, to get past that one bad inning that kind of blows up a good outing for him.
I hear you.
So,
ringing your mom's doorbell, Jesus. Has texted the program, and he says, if Byron Buxton is in the lineup tonight, Rocco needs to be fired.
Well, he's 1 for 31 in his last whatever games. The Twins have got to start thinking about what's the best for the ball club. And having Buxton in the lineup every day may not be the best thing right now.
It's so tough to watch because we all know that Byron Buxton has the potential to be absolutely terrific, and he is
I guess I would say Nick had the potential. I'm not sure.
You think it's over?
Well,
you think there's no chance he'll ever be the player that we've seen glimpses of?
I don't think so. I honestly, I don't think so.
Well, he's still so young
and cool
and very cool.
He's not so young anymore.
Well, how old is he?
He's like 29.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's 21. And I mean, when he was, that age and one of those, best prospects in baseball, we were all excited about the potential, but injuries have taken its toll. Time has taken its toll.
Fair enough.
And now we're looking at a guy who's done nothing but basically DH all year. The fact that he's healthy near the end of July is a good thing. I'm not, that's this plan of DHing him has kept him in the lineup.
Right.
But he's not been very effective. He struck out 3 times last night.
I know his bat has.
They
failed him.
They struck out 14 times last night.
Now, how many times have they done that this baseball season? Been in the 12, 13, 14 area? It's
double-digit area?
Over and over again.
I don't know
Many
what that
times.
number is, but it's got to be high.
So here's the deal. By the way, people are texting in and asking why we're dickless this morning, why Dick Bramer isn't on the program. When he's on the West Coast, we don't bother Dick because right now it's 5:48 in the morning.
Right.
And the man needs to get his sleep. So that's why Dick isn't involved. What else were we going with? Here's my thing with Buck. Yeah, I'm not turning my back on Buck. I'm a big fan, and I got high hopes he can turn this around at one point or another. Here's my thing. Maybe dump him down towards the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah.
Was he batting third last night?
He was, yes.
That's what I would do. Take a little pressure off the guy, bat him a little further down the lineup.
Personally, I would slide Solano into that third spot. The guy is a contact guy. He seems to find a way to. His on-base percentage is the best on the team right now. That's who I would bat there, but I'm not the coach.
Dinky Dude Trucker Butt Jesus says, "Who you call an old shaver? I'm 29."
in terms of baseball players,
we know. That's Others are texting in that Buxton should be pronounced Bustin. You dickheads.
I saw a lot of comments last night on Twitter about why aren't they playing? If they're going to call Matt Wallner up, why is he sitting on the bench?
Okay.
Play Matt Wallner. And Rocco's response to some of that seems to be that there's too many left-handed players in his lineup right now with Julian and Kirilloff and Kepler. But the Twins are going to have to make some. This is part of what got people fired up at the All-Star break. Would the Twins do something about this lineup? Would they do something drastic? Would they make some changes?
Right.
Because the everyday lineup was struggling so bad going into the All-Star break. And, of course, then they play Oakland for 3, and it seems like
that's nice.
They cured some of their ills.
It was a nice little gift from God.
When you start playing against better clubs, and Seattle, I think, belongs in that category.
They're a 500 ball club.
Yeah. The struggles are continuing.
Well, now, not to dwell on Buxton, but you mentioned the fact that he's healthy and playing in July is good news. A couple people have texted in and said, "Is he really healthy?" There's a couple of our listeners one of them is Whoopie Cat Dad Jesus, who says they question whether he's got to be bothered by something if he's this bad at the plate.
How about he's healthy enough to be in the lineup?
Healthy enough to be in the lineup.
Everybody's got their bumps and bruises this time of year and their soreness, but the fact
some of it is general soreness, isn't it, Randy?
True, can be. Yes, it can. We've seen it before. We know what that looks like.
Ashley, did you put the video up yet on our website of the strudel, Max Kepler tripping over his baseball bat as he tried to leg out a double?
Yep, that's up.
You see that last night, Randy?
I did not.
Strudes, he smokes one to right center field, easy double. Before he gets out of the batter's box, he trips over the bat that he just dropped on the ground.
Adorable.
It was hilarious. He went ass over apple cart.
He recovered well.
He did. He got to first, but it got better because he got to first, and he's thinking, "Well, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead." And then he noticed that the center fielder was just lollygagging it. So then he charges for second base. He had to slide head first. It was a lot of work for the Stroods last night.
That smile that he gives, like the crowd or the camera when he slides into second, is phenomenal. That's stuff you don't forget.
You melted.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's so gorgeous.
That was precious.
Oh my God.
Tonight at 8:40 again on Bally Sports North, you can see Dick and Justin and Trevor Plouffe. I think that's the trio they got going. Bailey Ober will start for the Twins. He's been great lately. Sure. Did you see the name of Seattle's starter? Woo! This is going to be good.
It's Woo. Yeah, Brian Woo.
Brian Woo.
W-O-O, Brian Woo.
Has Flair strutted into their locker room yet, like he does for every other franchise on play? I bet the fans at tonight's ball game will be performing woo-offs. Can we play the Kurt Angle versus Ric Flair woo-off again? That was.
But I'm not just anybody.
No.
And your days of being number one here,
they're over.
Are over. Because Kurt Angle is back on Raw, baby. Woo!
He just do a woo. He did.
Nobody says woo around here except me. Woo! 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 Enough! Enough! That's enough! Hey, that's gimmick infringement and you know it.
That was mediated there, Janelle, by Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The woo-off between Ric Flair and Kurt Angle. Maybe the greatest 2 minutes in television history, right there. Because your days, Randy, your days of being number one around here are over.
They've been over for a while.
That was just so good.
So, Nick, are you feeling really old this morning?
Well, I feel old most mornings. Why do you say that?
In terms of baseball, because last night the Pittsburgh Pirates had a battery for the first time of two rookies, both born in the year 2000. It's the first starting battery born in 2000 or later. It's the first time that a rookie pitcher and a rookie catcher made their major league debut together for the Pirates since 1943.
Yeah.
So I only say this because I was on the Pirates bandwagon early in the year when they were playing so great.
Yeah, you were Bucko Randy.
And they have completely crapped the bed since probably 4 weeks before the All-Star break to now. They're now 12 games under 500. But that's pretty cool. Last night, Andy Rodriguez, the catcher, and Quinn Priester, the pitcher, first battery together, born since 2000.
That's great.
So there we go. We're into the next generation of ball play.
Isn't that something? Hey, Wapple. Yo. Tree Clipper Jesus wanted to give you and I a heads up. Oh, there's a Ric Flair interview in Men's Health magazine that we need to see. Now, number one, what the hell is Ric Flair doing in Men's Health magazine? That guy has led the most unhealthy life of anybody I can think about right now, maybe next to Ozzy Osbourne or Keith Richards. It's kind of funny.
Maybe we should give him credit that he's healthy enough to be in the magazine.
Well, he kicked out at 2 a few years ago, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He kicked out at 2. It's like putting Wapple in Pimp magazine, you know?
Is there such a thing?
Man, I'm sure there's got to be. Randy, when you follow baseball, do you ever read stories from a writer or a reporter by the name of Jeff Passan?
Yes.
Did everyone see what happened to this poor bastard?
Yeah, dude.
No.
My God.
He's got a broken back.
A broken back?
That's
Yeah.
awful.
He lives down there in Kansas City, and a big storm came through his neighborhood, so he's out in the yard with a chainsaw.
No.
And a big friggin' branch came down, landed on him, and broke his back for him.
Oh, my gosh.
He's going to be okay. Did you see the picture of this? Isn't a branch. This was an entire tree that landed on him.
How do you get yourself in that position that a tree falls?
He should have been dead.
And by the way, don't you leave that to the professionals?
Well, maybe he does know what he's doing.
Well, maybe he does. Well, yeah.
I just cut down some large.
Some would argue if you get knocked over by a tree, maybe you don't know what you're doing, but.
You could make that argument.
Yeah.
That's a
but I mean,
rule.
I'm sorry. I like doing things myself, but though that's in the department of find the guy. There's a guy that knows how to cut down trees safely. I'm not that guy.
Well,
just cuts it down and it falls on his neighbor's house.
Things were pretty shady there. There was all kinds of destruction in his neighborhood. He was trying to, clear some trees. One of them came right down on his effing back.
God.
You see the picture, Josh?
Yeah.
The guy should have been.
No wonder he broke. He's lucky he's not dead.
Yeah. Although you and I know something about back pain carrying this radio station.
I knew that was coming.
You never see anything coming.
Nick is the savior of all of radio, not just this radio station.
Right. Same thing, Janelle, every time.
Every time.
Nick's
same joke.
Nick's the Tom Cruise of the movie industry for us.
Oh, you mean like Tom Cruise saved Hollywood and I'm saving radio?
Yeah.
I can see the comparison there.
They were going to unplug radio.
They were just going to ban it.
Yeah,
they were just going to wipe it out.
The chairman of the FCC had his hand on the plug, and then he heard Nick.
He was going to push the red button and just blow it up.
End it
nope,
all.
Nick saved it.
I'm that damn good.
Thank God.
Here's a fun video going around. Happens a couple times every baseball season. A grounds crew member gets trapped under the tarp, and then they're never seen again.
That's on 93x.com.
Did we speak too soon?
Someone else get eaten by the tarp?
Oh, look out.
Oh, God. Gotta move.
Close.
High stepping.
Oh, boy, there we go.
Mayday.
Oh, no.
He got eaten by the tarp.
He's under there.
They're not even stopping. No pause.
Somebody's got to get him out of
Every man
there.
left behind, fend for yourself. He's under there somewhere.
You can't leave a man behind.
Cincinnati Reds ball game. The weather turned bad. The grounds crew, you know how they do. They hustled out onto the field to haul that tarp. Everyone grabs one end, drags it out over the infield. One guy trips and falls, and the tarp just swallows them whole.
They're moving fast.
And they don't even look back.
Nope.
The guy's just got to fend for himself.
You just see a bump in the middle there.
Exactly. It's like the cartoon with the mole that comes through the grass, makes the line in the grass.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the motto of you never leave a man behind doesn't apply to groundskeeping. Now, I don't want to get into this because if you haven't seen the video, you won't know what the hell I'm talking about. But a lot of baseball fans are talking about this minor league ball game. Did everyone see the catch that was ruled a home run?
Yeah.
Yep, it's up on 93x.com, Randy.
Umpires,
okay,
you got to check this out, Randy. Umpires awarded a home run to a guy after the outfielder made the catch.
But does the ball go over the wall?
Yes.
Is that why they called it that?
Yes.
Okay.
The outfielder made the catch and then dropped the ball over the fence.
Oh, okay.
Afterwards, a deep line drive to right center. The ball was caught on the run. This wasn't like up against the fence with your arm extended.
Oh, I see.
He makes the catch on the run. A kid by the name of Bryce Johnson made this catch. He had the ball in his glove. He strides 2 or 3 times, and then he kind of leapt himself up onto the fence to dummy down the impact. You following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in that process, whoops, he drops the ball over the fence. They ruled it a home run.
Interesting.
Swinging a fly ball hit well to right center field toward the gap. Johnson goes into the gap and a galloping catch made by Bryce Johnson, and he almost jumped up over the bullpen fence. He was trying to jump into the wall to just stop his momentum, trying to jump softly into the wall. Oh, they're going to say that he lost the ball over the fence and it's going to be a home run. No way. Oh, my goodness. I've never seen that. Johnson made the catch. And, I mean, if this is like football, he's got possession and he's got a baseball move, if you will. He caught it and then made a couple of steps and then lost it.
Yeah, what is the rule on that? Because
Brad Ryder on the call there.
Yeah. Because there is that, we've seen before where the player will make a catch and then in the transfer from the glove to the hand may drop it. They'll still rule it an out. Right?
I have the rule in front of me.
Okay.
It says here, baseball require. I don't know if I understand what I'm saying, but here's the rule. Baseball requires the fielder to either maintain possession or voluntarily release the ball. The umpires thought that he did neither of those.
Oh. Well, he wouldn't voluntarily release it over the wall, so that makes sense.
It sure looked like he maintained possession to me. But
It did, yeah.
Here's the confusing thing. If you go up against the fence and make a Torrey Hunter turkey bucket type catch, right? And then you fall over the fence, you are beyond the fence, that's an out. But in this, it is. That is an out.
Yeah.
You can fall out of the field of play and it's an out. But in this case, the guy catches the ball and then he drops it over the fence.
Right.
That's a home run.
Well, in those
something you don't really think about very often.
In the cases you're talking about, you would actually, after you make that, you raise your glove up and you take the ball out of the glove and throw the ball back. That shows that you made the catch. And this way, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, everyone's arguing about it.
Well, and it wouldn't have been a home run had he not caught it and sent it over the fence.
And carried it.
Oh, yeah, good point. Carried it over.
He basically carried it over the wall. Yes.
It's all so strange, isn't it, Janelle?
It's very strange.
Why don't you ask your boyfriend, Jose Canseco?
I'm going to talk to him about it tonight.
Call Jose tonight.
Well, Jose's done that before and gone off his head.
He gave the header, yeah.
I think he would have loved you regardless whether he would have taken a baseball off the head or not, Janelle.
Right.
Like I said, somebody was about to say, well, the only reason he likes Janelle is because he took that hard.
We can all agree there's an asterisk there.
I think he would have loved you regardless.
Thanks.
Gosh, you're going to make Janelle feel so bad.
It even says here in more of the description, a fielder, for example, may appear to catch and hold on to the batted ball securely, take a few steps, collide with the wall, or another player drop the ball. That's not a catch.
I disagree with that.
I
disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think once
like,
you take a few strides, that play is over.
It's like football. Exactly like the announcer said. It's almost like he made a baseball move, like a football move.
Wapple, God bless you, you little Muppet bastard, but don't ever compare baseball to football again. I hate how much baseball is becoming like football with all the replay. I hate the comparison there. Now, I've got a very, very interesting baseball statistic here for you.
Okay.
You gotta check this out. I've never heard anything like this before. It says right here, since 2019, Francisco Lindor, Randy, of the New York Metropolitans.
Yes.
Did you see this, Josh?
Yes.
Since 2000, you tell me what you think. Since 2019, Francisco Lindor and a Toyota RAV4 have had nearly identical careers.
I mean, there's an argument in here that the RAV4 had a better career.
Okay? There is. Okay. All-Star Game appearances since 2019. Neither Francisco Lindor nor a Toyota RAV4 have made an appearance at the All-Star Game. Neither one of them have won a Gold Glove. Francisco Lindor, no. 0 Gold Gloves. Toyota RAV4, no. Silver Sluggers, no. MVPs, no. Now, the Toyota RAV4 has won an IIHS top safety pick. Francisco Lindor has not won that award.
Come on. I'm looking at this now. This is a great tweet by the Phillies.
Oh, is that I didn't know where it came from.
It looks like Phillies Muse is what the tweet. So it's got to be a Phillies fan who's making fun of the Mets.
It is, yes.
Okay, so now maybe the deciding factor, if you're on the fence, which one of them could take you to a World Series. The RAV4, the RAV4, it says here, yes, that could take you to Francisco Lindor. No.
There was a comment I thought was pretty funny. It says, in Lindor's defense, an IIHS top safety pick is unnecessary if you don't hit anything. So that's not that impressive.
That's brilliant.
Oh, my God. That's very funny.
Another strange baseball stat. Or maybe not a stat, but just a strange baseball fact. Right now, playing in the big leagues, the Cincinnati Reds just called up a rookie by the name of Christian Encarnacion.
God, the Reds are just full of rookies right now.
Strand.
Encarnacion.
You know that song, Janelle?
I've heard it once or twice.
Yeah.
It gets old.
I ate
on this show. You've heard that?
But Nick does it better.
So what about this guy?
I ate some bugs. I ate some grass. I used my hand to wipe my tears. Reds rookie Christian Encarnacion Strand is the kid's name.
Yeah.
And according to data from God knows where, no player in Major League Baseball history has had 18 or more characters in their last name until Encarnacion Strand came along. He's made, as Denny Green would say, he's made history with that.
Huh.
More
So
characters in his last name. Yeah.
Okay.
The closest ever before Christian Encarnacion Strand.
Maybe Doug Mankiewicz?
No, it was a former Twin, though, and a recent former Twin. Well, maybe he's currently still a minor leaguer. I didn't mean to put him in the former category. Simeon Woods Richardson.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the pitcher that they picked up from Toronto.
16 characters. They're including the space. We don't need to get into it. But
The hyphen and the
right
last,
and everything.
The hyphen last name.
Can I go through? I love a good name, like the brothers that I went to school with, Lamangelo and Arangelo. I love a good name. Like my dad's very first girlfriend, Angeline Mary Maud Day Fisk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that name.
All right, now I know what you're saying, again, with the dad, but my dad knew a guy years ago named Vusten Walder Schwindelpeggy.
Say that again?
What?
The dude my dad used to know?
Yes.
Vusten Walder Schwindelpeggy. Schwinnel.
So is that like a nickname in there, or that's the real name? Hyphen.
I had to talk to my dad about it.
Okay.
He'll bore you to death with
My grandpa tried to convince me he went to school with a girl named Iva Big Bottom.
Never happened.
I believed it into adulthood.
Oh, I bet you did. Oh, my
Well, my grandpa told me it's got to be true.
There's nothing wrong with believing you. I love a good name. Can I roll through some of these other longest names in baseball history?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Somebody tell me what the living hell is going on in the De Los Santos house. I have 4 or 5, more than that, fellas with the last name De Los Santos who have played in Major League Baseball.
Sure.
Yeri De Los Santos, Enyel De Los Santos. These are all guys with the longest names in baseball history. There's more. Luis De Los Santos, Ramon De Los Santos. But some of them are kind of cute. Jared Saltalamacchia.
Oh, sure.
John Van Benschoten. Asher Wojciechowski.
Yes.
Spelled Wojciechowski.
That might be, other than Mankiewicz, that might be the toughest name to, like, in your head, sound out if you haven't seen how it's spelled.
Oh,
right?
God, help us. I'd have no idea.
Because Mankiewicz was a really super hard one to figure out.
Yeah.
Without seeing how it was spelled.
Who was the left-handed relief pitcher that stuck around the bigs for years? I think he's hung it up now. He played for Cleveland, is the one club I know I remember him playing for. His nickname was Scrabble because of all the letters in his last name.
Gosh.
Very difficult name
Yeah.
to say. Left-handed relief pitcher. I missed a couple of De Los Santos. Did I mention Fautino and Valerio De Los Santos? How about this name? Tim Spoony Barger. There was
You're talking about Mark Repchinski.
That's it. That's it.
RZEPCZYNSKI.
Can I buy a vowel? No, you cannot.
Back in the day, we had William Van Landingham, Kirk Dessendorfer.
That one's cool.
That one got you.
Ken Roethlisberger, Austin Knickerbocker,
Knickerbocker, Liquor Locker.
Bonnie Hollingsworth, Gene DeMontreville, Lee DeMontreville, Lou Shippen Casey. Yeah, old Angeline Mary Maud Day Fisk. That was the old man's very first girlfriend. It's strange to me how seriously grown folks take this kind of thing, but EA Video Games, or whatever they're called, released their silly wide receiver and defensive back ratings for Madden 24, and Justin Jefferson Schmidt-Sinjin of the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, got the highest rating a player can get in the game, 99, and he's the only wide receiver in the league with a 99.
Well, here's the deal. He is going, I've done like 2 or 3 fantasy football drafts already online.
Gosh.
He is the #1 player, the highest rated player in fantasy football. He is being drafted #1.
You are such a junkie.
In all leagues.
You are an absolute junkie.
I am. But Justin Jefferson is the #1 player.
Do you think it's maybe because you're doing leagues in Minnesota?
No.
So it's national? He's
Yes.
picked that way all over the country?
he-
Okay.
If you look at some of if you go on to like a good way to kind of just soak in players and where they rank right now is to do some like cheat sheets of fantasy football. ESPN has theirs out right now for PPR leagues. And Jefferson is the highest rated player in those leagues. I was going to bring this up the other day. We just never got around to talking.
F me running.
Yep. He is the highest rated player.
And it means a lot to him, he says.
Yeah, it should.
Y'all have no idea what it means to be a 99 in Madden, he said. Since I was 7 years old, I've been creating my own player, making him a 99, and now I don't have to.
Isn't that great? That's a great line. That's
cool.
funny.
You want to know the top 10, how do you call it, rated wide receivers in Madden, Randy Shaver?
I can guess.
Oh, you really can?
Yep.
All right, I'll hit the bell when you're correct.
I would say #2 is Cooper Kupp.
No, but he's on the list.
Jamar Chase.
Hang on a second. Don't
He's
go.
on the
Yes,
list,
he's
yeah.
on the list.
Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs.
Stupid Stephon Diggs.
CeeDee Lamb.
No.
Really?
I don't see him in here.
Amon St. Brown. Ross St. Brown.
No.
What?
No, I said.
You've got a bad list.
This is the Madden friggin' list.
A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson.
Don't see him in here.
Nope. T. Higgins.
Don't see him.
Okay. Well, that's
I'll tell you who
list.
you're missing.
Sure.
Did you say Amari Cooper?
I did not. He's with Cleveland.
Did you say A.J. Brown?
Yes, I did.
Did you say Terry McLaurin of the Commodores?
That's
not a real name.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin. I
and
did
then I think
not.
you got the rest of them.
He missed DeAndre Hopkins, unless you said it and I missed it.
Well, DeAndre Hopkins just signed with Tennessee, so
DeAndre's Hopkins, yes.
he'll have a miserable year because Ryan Tannehill's throwing to him. He will. He'll have a miserable year.
There you go.
See, the guy that should be on that list that I think is going to be a phenomenal player, this is just my fantasy football take, early take, Chris Olave. I think Chris Olave is a fabulous football player, and the fact that Derek Carr is now playing quarterback in New Orleans, who's going to have, he's going to be reborn in New Orleans. I think Chris Olave is going to have a huge year.
I'm going to remember. I'm going to forget that by the end of the day.
Sure you will.
This isn't the easiest video to watch for the fellows out there. We can wrap it up with this here. An NBA Summer League player got his nuts and penis stomped into seasoning in a game here a day or two ago. Oh, Nate Hinton of the Rockets had his testicles stomped into oblivion following a dunk. He's on the floor laying on his back. He's laughing because a foul has just been called on him that he didn't think he deserved. And a guy by the name of Ed Croswell, he sounds like he's from the old days. It's 2023. There's a guy in the NBA named Ed Croswell.
At least go by Eddie or something.
Ed Croswell of the Jazz dunks the ball, and when Croswell, he's hanging on the rim, and when he lets go, he landed right on this Hinton's bag-ola. That's a fun video, but tough to watch. This Hinton guy had 27 points, 9 of 16 shooting, 44% from beyond the arc, and then he's got to end the night getting his jewels pummeled for him.
Oh, God.
It doesn't look good.
It's bad.
Oh,
Did you already say, Ashley? That's on our website.
Yes.
How much do you think old Ed Croswell weighs?
Oh, probably about 240.
Coming right down on your
that
back.
was a direct hit, too, by the way. Ain't no laughing after that.
We're not laughing at that.
There ain't no laughing.
All right, Randy.
Well, Janelle, what a joy.
I mean,
what a joy to have you in studio.
every day is a joy with you, Randy.
What the hell are you talking about? You ain't here. you act like you opened the door for her or something like that.
What a joy to have Janelle in studio.
You're over there in your boxers. Waiting for Nurse Ratchet to call out medication time, gentlemen. Medication
I've got to go.
time.
I've got a fantasy football draft at 8:30.
I bet you do.
Boy.
Sick bastard. You and that Adam Schefter need restraining orders. It's unbelievable.
Randy, are we still doing that Survivor pool at KARE 11?
Survivor pool.
Yeah.
For the show Survivor?
No, there was a game we used to play during football season where you had to pick one team you did not think would lose that week.
I am in with, Mr. Norcus.
Yes.
I am in with Craig in one that we do every year.
Okay.
But there isn't one that's directly linked inside the station.
I want to bring that back. I don't care. The fantasy thing's too involved, but that one was fun.
I know those deals where you...
That is fun.
Every week, that doesn't play. Every week you pick a team that you guarantee is going to win.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to be smart about those because you don't want to waste all the really good teams right off the bat because...
Yep.
There's a lot of strategy involved.
I'll tell you this. If I'm playing a Survivor League where I got to pick a team that's guaranteed to win, every week I'm going Globetrotters.
Jeez. They've only lost one game, I
think. My mom got really close to that last year, and I think it helped that she had, basically no idea what was really going on. So she was one of the lucky ones.
I hear you.
Yeah, sometimes it's best not to overthink things.
Mm-hmm.
Randy,
are the Washington Generals not the worst team in basketball or what?
Yeah, they don't get the W very often.
There is one team out there, Cubby, that has their number. That's for sure. Randy, we'll jaw jack with you tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Jupiter Jane's not going anywhere. She's going to stick around. We'll be back here shortly.
You're listening to the radio. The 93 X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep, going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Yes, my friends, yes. Welcome back. It's 8:32. And Janel Klein, worldwide television personality Janel Klein, is here in studio with us. Janel, do you have any tattoo ideas for Ashley? Do you know what we're doing here?
Oh, I don't.
You don't know?
Are you looking for one?
Yeah.
I guess you could put it that way.
Yeah, we are.
Really? Okay.
Whenever we talk tattoos on the show,
Yeah.
Ashley always comes at us with this gimmick. She always says, I don't even care what you tattoo on me. Don't even care.
I just like the way it feels.
She always says it's fun, it's cool. She's said before she doesn't even care what is tattooed on her body. Won't bother her, right? So yesterday we called her out and said, okay, what if we get you a ridiculous, asinine, embarrassing tattoo by the time the state fair comes around?
Oh, yeah.
And when we make our stupid little appearance out there at the red box that rocks, or whatever we call our broadcast booth these days, folks can point and laugh at her all afternoon long. She said yes. She's fine with that. Now, we don't want to ruin her body.
Right.
So
she's capable of doing that on her own.
Yeah, and we don't want her to end up hating our guts.
We don't want her to be
point.
horribly regretful and hate
Right.
our guts 20 years from now.
Right.
So we went this way. We said, okay, what about one of those henna tattoos? They last a week and a half or so.
Yeah.
We'll do that. So what we got going here is we are all collectively, the 4 or 5 of us, we're trying to come up with something absolutely horrible that a henna tattoo artist can put on Ashley's body for her to display at the fair. Also, we're asking our listening audience to give us a separate horrible tattoo idea, and she's agreed to both.
Oh, my gosh.
She'll
Okay.
wear whatever we come up with.
Yes.
She'll wear whatever the listeners come up with.
Where on your body is this going to be?
Oh, I think we are able to decide that as well.
Oh.
I was wondering if we're going to go through with that part too. So essentially, of the 4 of us, we'll have her like spin a wheel, and whatever it lands on, she'll get.
Yeah.
Okay. And same with listener suggestions.
Yep. Anywhere but the face. That's the only thing that's off limits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, I have to, go out in public and be, a member of society. So.
Mapple, will you isolate that where she said anywhere but the face? I'd like to have that at our disposal.
Now, the ideas from our listening audience have been rolling in, and we got a lot of decisions to make. Not only what we're going to present to her, but what our listeners are.
Yeah.
Janelle, are you familiar with the online, at least that's where I first saw him, the online cartoon character Dick Butt?
No.
Okay, you might want to look him up. He has been suggested.
Okay.
What did I get this morning?
Well, it's a lot of clowns and Chris Lindahl billboards.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, those have been the top 2 suggestions.
Because she's terrified of clowns.
And Chris Lindahl.
And Chris Lindahl. A Chris Lindahl billboard tramp stamp. So just think about it, Janelle. Maybe you can help us in our decision process. Think about it a little bit.
I like Ashley a lot. I just don't want to see anything.
Well, it's not permanent.
It's not permanent.
Keep that in mind. It's just for fun. She's agreed to it.
We all like her to a certain level also.
I looked up that little character you were talking about, Nick.
Isn't he kind of cute?
Yeah, he is surprisingly kind of adorable.
Yeah. He's got a big butt.
Big butt.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
If anything comes to mind, Janelle,
I give it some thought.
or after the show, maybe you drink about it a little bit.
Yep.
You can get back to us via
All right.
text.
Okay.
You don't have a tattoo, right? I think we've
don't.
talked about that before.
I just have this big fear of needles, so I just
Right.
Oh. Well, my stepdaughter has a fear of needles, yet she has 2 tattoos.
Really?
It's different for her for
How
whatever
did she?
reason.
How?
I don't understand.
Just like you guys, when you brought it up, I got uncomfortable. Like that's how much I hate that kind of
wow.
stuff. I
Yeah, you really-
I just.
Did you have a bad experience?
No, but I'm a fainter. And then I think once you get it in your head, now I just don't like anything to do with that.
Boy, you'll faint even.
Fall unconscious.
Oh, yeah.
The lights go out on Jungle Jane.
Lights out.
All right, 651-989-9393 is our text number for any fresh Ashley tattoo ideas for the state fair. It's going to be fun. A big crowd will be gathering around. They got to get a look at this, is what they'll be saying.
What about this one from I'll Try Anything 4 Times Jesus? A clown doing the Lindahl as a tattoo.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's redundant, but also a great idea.
Is the application of henna going to happen live at the fair or previous to the fair?
Well, but I think it'd be best to get her hooked up the
Get
day
it
before
done,
or
yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
maybe
that.
we could have it done in studio.
Henna's like the
there you
best,
go.
like a day or two afterwards, because some of it has to like fall off. And
Okay.
look all or else it'll look like kind of weird.
What do you mean by fall off? Isn't it just ink?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so like when you put it on, it's like more of like, it kind of reminds me of puff paint, the way puff paint would come out. Yeah, so like the stuff that like sticks, that's not flush with your arm, will eventually fall off.
I don't get it. I'll have to
I
see
did
it.
not know that.
Well, we'll have to do this the day before or something. Because, you know, if we bring the henna tattoo artist out to the fair, then Wapple will offer to take her on the Gravitron or something, and we'll never see her again.
Barf. Gravitron.
You're not going to have a sleeve of mini donuts and a dark beer and then go ride the Gravitron?
God.
A craft beer or two.
Yeah, have a dill pickle on a stick.
Yeah.
God.
Wapple in there, puking his guts out. All right, so that's what we got going on around here. Anyone going anywhere before summer is over? Any trips?
Nothing planned.
No, I think I'm done.
No.
Nothing out of state, nothing fun like that.
Because, you know, life is a journey.
Oh, my gosh, you are so right. And I'm glad to have you guys on that journey with me.
Some people say you should go out and do stuff. I don't know who this is. Somebody called Nomadic Yak put together a report on the most deadly tourist activities of 2023. They don't want you to go out there and get killed dead. The most deadly tourist activities of 2023. Now, I know I have little or no interest in any of these things, but I'm a little older now. Some of you younger folks might want to let her buck, but it might kill you. Just saying. And each of these activities is listed with its respective fatality rate. And I don't know if I'll get into all the fatality rates. That gets into arithmetic, and I hate arithmetic. So just know that these are the deadliest tourist activities in 2023. Tell me if anyone's ever taken part in silliness like, say, mountaineering / rock climbing.
Not. I mean, I've rock climbed before, but no place that would be considerably deadly, I guess.
I've done it indoors.
Yeah, I've done that indoors.
Yeah. That's about it.
That's not mountaineering or rock climbing.
No.
You're talking about at Sport Mart next to where they sell the tennis shoes or something like that?
Yeah.
I did that at Vertical Endeavors a couple of years ago and found out how out of shape I am. I forgot how exhausting that can be.
Well, I've done it indoors.
I can barely do that. I get 5 feet off the ground and my body just does not want to do it.
That's like the dude Josh and I used to know who had a very distinct opinion on Target Field before he had ever gone to Target Field because he saw it in a video game.
Oh, my gosh.
He did try and pass it off as if he was the world's foremost expert on the park, but yeah, he hadn't gone there.
Cave diving. I don't even know if I know what that is. What is cave diving?
I think you're going underwater, and I thought you're not wearing an apparatus or anything, right? That's the
Isn't
gist.
that how those kids got trapped in the soccer team?
Oh,
what?
God.
No, they were hiking, and then the caves filled up with rainwater.
So wait a minute now. Wait. So what is cave diving? You're underwater. You find a hole in the floor of the ocean and you dive into it. What is cave? I don't know what it is.
That's basically.
That's what it is.
That's my understanding of it.
Oh my!
Underwater caves.
What are you nuts? Or
Did
something?
you give us the fatality rate in the first one?
No, I didn't know if the arithmetic would get confusing. But mountaineering and rock climbing. 1 in 3,125 folks end up dead from that. All right. Would you prefer that, Josh, if I dumped that fatality rate out there?
Yeah, it puts a little perspective on it.
Okay, I appreciate it. Cave diving. I'm not.
And this was close.
I'm not a sturgeon. I'm not an octopus. I'm not going to go to the floor of the ocean and look for a hole. 1 in 3,333 people end up dead from cave diving. They have, common things in here too, like driving. Okay, fine. I'm on vacation. I might take a car around town.
Yeah, it's too many people that do that for that stat to.
Right. Or eating food poisoning. You go to, let's say you go to Biafra and you want to eat their traditional meal.
Or even just choking on food.
Well, hell, you could choke on a meal. All right. But the more exciting things here, just a few days ago we were talking about how do you say it?
Horseback riding.
Horseback riding. 1 in 10,000 people die on horseback. Now, here's something I believe I have done. Is this where they hang you out the back of a boat, paragliding?
No, you're thinking of parasailing.
Oh, I went parasailing. Okay, what is paragliding?
That's where you just use the paraglider over land.
Oh, you got the thing strapped to your back. There's a handlebar in front of you. That's paragliding?
Yep.
Okay.
You're not tethered to anything.
1 in about 13,500 people are mangled beyond repair and then cross over to the other side from paragliding.
Well,
I would never do that.
Yep, never, ever, ever.
What about you, Janelle?
I wouldn't have done any of the above.
None of these.
So yeah, you said you pass out with needles, so
Yeah.
none of this extreme. Well, sorry if that offends or bothers anybody. I said extreme activities, but none of that.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't say I would like pass out from any of this. It's just I have, like Nick, I have no interest. Like none of it sounds fun to me. I don't know.
Parasailing. Okay.
Parasailing,
I did that on Lake Minnetonka for a radio bit when I was just getting started in the business, and they strapped a telephone to my face, and then I was on the back of a boat, and then they had some kind of a sail on my back, and they sent me up into the air.
What did you think?
It was horrifying.
Do you hate heights?
I do hate heights,
Yeah.
and I mean Janel Klein, I was up there by damn, I was way up there.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah, they couldn't.
I'd try that over paragliding.
Oh,
for sure.
I would not. I've seen
For
too many
sure.
of those videos where the cord snaps and there goes the parasailer.
Well, at least you're over water.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but who's to say that? Well, this
In
is
Lake Minnetonka?
Oh, yeah, true. Well,
Maybe like loan
in
sharks.
that case, there's no way you're landing in the lake. You're
But
flying way further.
Dana, if they would have cut the rope, who's to say I'm going to stay over water?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
I don't know how to
True.
drive that damn thing, and that was one of the thoughts I had was if they cut the rope or the rope broke, I'm going to end up. I was familiar with the area. It was Lake Minnetonka. I'm going to end up crashing into. What's that malt shop in Delano?
Peppermint twist.
The peppermint twist. I'm going to end up landing on top of the peppermint twist. There's going to be a big grease stain up on top of the joint while folks are trying to have a strawberry shake and a corn dog.
I'd worry about getting chopped up in an Evan root or something like
I
that.
would worry about drowning. The parachute gets sucked down to the bottom.
That's a good
And
point.
then you're all
Waffle.
tangled up.
Well, I suppose they did mess with me and claim that they were unable to reel me in for a while. And it was like at 5:30 in the morning. It was freezing up there.
Oh, man.
Get me down.
We're talking about a report from the folks at Nomadic Yak. I don't even know what the hell that means. But they put together a report on the most deadly tourist activities for the year 2023. You and your side piece go on vacation somewhere. Here's what might kill you dead. We talk about rock climbing and cave diving, horseback riding, paragliding. Next on the list, dangerous but worth the risk. What band? Go ahead. Anybody but Josh. Dangerous but worth the risk. Rat is the answer.
What album? Anybody
Invasion
but Nick.
of your. God dang it.
What year? Anybody but Nick. Wapple, did you say 1985?
I did.
Nice work.
See, I knew the answers, but I wanted to see if Wapple and Ashley and Janelle knew the answers.
Oh,
That's
thank you for giving
because,
me that
sir,
shot.
you are a gentleman.
I agree.
And a liar.
You got a 1 in 28,000 chance of dying while mountain biking on vacation with your side piece.
That's unfortunate. Just yesterday, I was thinking I should buy a mountain bike. I want to get back into bike.
That too, man.
Would you be my bike buddy? I don't have one.
I would love to be your bike buddy.
I don't really know where to go.
I'll find some places.
Are you talking about like the mountain biking that people are doing nowadays where they go around the track and they go up the jumps and...
Who are you talking to?
I just want to ride on the sidewalk and piss people off. Yeah, I mean, maybe some, not the crazy stuff that people are doing, like riding on logs and stuff like that over streams or whatever they're doing. Yeah, I'm not, or going like straight down an incline.
Hiking might kill you. 1 in 50,000 people die from hiking while they're on vacation. I almost died hiking. We were in Maui. I was still a relatively young man. And the gal I was with at the time said, well, she was bound and determined to go hiking. And she kept busting my balls about going with her. And I said, I have absolutely zero interest in walking around the wilds of Maui when it's 94 degrees out, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either.
But
I mean, it's beautiful, obviously.
But because she kind of burned things up in the sheets, Cubby, I agreed to it.
And for the record, I just said it was beautiful, and I've never been there in my life. I have been to Oahu.
It was quite beautiful, but really, honestly, I thought I was going to drop dead of a heart attack because what this gal didn't tell me is that we were going up F me running hill. I thought hiking would just be, I didn't know the definition of hiking. I thought we'd just be kind of walking on flat ground. Next thing you know, we're up. And I just quit on her. I quit. And she was pissed. I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this. It's ridiculous. I'm on vacation, for God's sake. And what was really eerie was on my... So I let her go on her own. I said, you know, we had kind of a F-U kind of a thing. I said, I'm going back to the car. I'll see you when you're done. And as I'm walking back down, I come upon a couple of cows, and one of them dropped dead in front of me.
Oh, what?
I'm not kidding you.
That's got to be a sign.
Yeah, that's what I took it as. There was this cow sitting there, you know how cows operate, and then this sumbitch just burp, and he drops dead in my path.
Hey, out of curiosity, Dana.
Yeah.
How many radio stations have told you to take a hike? What are we up, 4, 5?
About a baker's dozen.
Skydiving kills folks, 1 in 90,000 of them at least. Skydiving, anyone want to jump out of an airplane?
No.
All day.
I had one opportunity, and I passed. I can't do it. I'm too much of a wimp.
You going to do it someday, Ashley?
No doubt in my mind. Skydiving's sweet.
I hope this happens to you. A friend of mine went skydiving his very first time. They strapped a professional to his back. Are you following how that might work?
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, dude, I'm going. He was talking a lot of trash. And Scott, you guys don't want to take any chances in life. I'm going to skydive. And so he jumps out the airplane with the professional on his back. And about halfway down, my buddy does this and vomits.
Oh, no.
And the vomit got all over the guy on his back.
Gross.
And the guy's got in his mouth.
No.
I ate someone else's vomit.
That's messed up.
Just pulls out a pocket knife and cuts your friend free.
Yep.
You've lost your skydiving privileges.
Jet skiing. I was one of the best in the county at jet skiing back in the day.
Never done it.
1 in 125,000 people end up dead from jet skiing. Just regular old swimming, 1 in 150. I'm a terrible swimmer. Surfing, 1 in 158,000 people die. I tried that once. I couldn't get her done.
Yeah, could you stand up?
No.
I maybe did for a second and a half.
I was exhausted, too, from paddling. You try to catch that, I was exhausted. If you jump on an airplane or a helicopter sightseeing tour, 1 out of 181,000 times, you're going to die, and you're going to die ugly.
I've done the helicopter tour. I'd love to do one of those plane tours up in Duluth. You know how they do that? I think that'd be kind of fun.
You know how else you can die ugly and lay bloated for weeks before somebody finds you? Whitewater rafting. 1 in 181,000 people end up bloated and dead.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
I don't have the courage for that either.
It's so scary. The people that I went with decided it would be a good idea to put me on the front of the boat. And I guess it's because of like a weight distribution situation.
Sure.
But I was like, come on. And so they take pictures of you going through the rapids. In every picture, I just looked terrified.
Yeah, I had a blast with that. I was the same boat as Ashley. They had to put me in the front because
you guys went on a whitewater rafting ride together?
No.
Oh.
That is funny. You said
You said you were in the same boat as that?
You know what?
Yeah,
I knew what you meant, Waffle, But Nick's right. That could be taken both ways.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. I was put in the front, and I had a blast. It's so much fun.
I don't want to be in water fast enough where it gets foamy. Not at all.
Josh, I don't know if you could take it because I don't know if you had this experience, Wapple, but the guides get very serious very fast. Like 1 minute they're just like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun. And then when you're in the boat, they're like, right paddle, left.
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't want some amateur killing them, you know?
But you're like, whoa, okay.
Hey, Janelle, could you and I ever go snorkeling together?
We totally could do that.
I don't like snorkeling.
I tried it once. It was terrifying.
Yeah,
really?
It sucks.
There's a 1 in 200,000 chance that we're going to die out there, Janelle.
I mean,
I just don't know how to do it. Maybe if I knew how to do it, I'd like it, but I swallowed a lot of salt water.
Yeah,
I didn't like snorkeling. There were scary creatures that I'd never seen before down below me, and I didn't like it.
Dana, is this true? Did you say no to some tubing over the weekend?
I did say no to some tubing over the weekend, yeah.
Out of fear, or what happened?
The water was just freezing cold up north. And
it's too cold for it.
Too cold. I'm a wimpy little boy.
That's funny.
So cold.
You know, sometimes Wapple says about me, sometimes Wapple says that I'm as cool as a fool in a swimming pool. Swimming in a pool, 1 in 400,000 people die there on vacation. Bungee jumping, 1.5 million people die bungee jumping.
That's another thing I wouldn't do.
Never.
Wapple, didn't you do that? Or I thought you did something similar.
No. Oh, God, no.
Oh, what's that? The slingshot or something at the state fair?
Nope, still never done that.
Oh, I did
Never
that.
will.
That's fun.
In the early 90s, you couldn't cross the street without someone advertising their bungee jumping company. It was
Wow.
everywhere.
If
Every
Ash-
bar had a bungee jump night. It was good. Yes, go ahead,
I'm
Janelle.
sorry.
No.
I was just thinking, I was picturing Wapple on the slingshot and thinking if Ashley can get a tattoo for the state fair, maybe Wapple could go on the slingshot.
Oh, no. Nope.
No, he's our...
What?
Would
Wapple
you-
will probably die.
Would you drive a slingshot, a Polaris slingshot?
Oh, that would be a blast.
How about right after? Yeah, Wapple goes on the slingshot right after we give him something to eat from the trash can at Juanita's Fajitas.
They make a good fajita over
Yeah,
there.
they're so good.
Well,
They're
they're-
breakfast fajitas.
They're delicious.
Yeah, one of my buddies works there, and his aunt is Juanita.
Are you serious?
That's the coolest thing I've heard all day, but I imagine that doesn't settle your stomach before a slingshot ride.
No. Like, have you guys ever done the high ropes courses and stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, like you climb telephone poles and you go down zip lines and stuff like that. We had to climb up a telephone pole and then jump off and like hit a bell. So like a cowbell to say, "Oh wow, you did it."
This was when you were in the Army Reserve or something? What are you talking about?
It was back like summer activities, and like that was one of the activities.
Summer
like,
activities.
Yeah,
Climb
like-
a pole, jump off,
like
ring a
you
bell.
would go to Valley Fair. You would go
Yeah.
do a bunch of fun activities. Well, one of them was the high ropes
Jeez,
course.
that sounds scary. Whatever happened to kickball?
I was crying my eyes out because I was trying to get
poor
up the
Wapple.
pole, and I was so
No,
afraid of
Wapple.
heights. And everyone's down below. You can do it. And I'm like,
You know what's BS? Jacob's ladder.
Oh, yeah.
I
it's
hate that
tough.
thing.
Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder's
I don't know what that
that's
is.
frustrating.
Every time I think, I got this. How hard can it be? And every time I end up upside
You
down.
never get it.
No.
They have that at the Renaissance Festival.
That's
Well, they've
where I've
had that at
tried
the
it.
Renaissance
Yeah.
Festival since 1942. It is one of,
okay.
but it is one of Huey Lewis and the News' greatest songs, Jacob's Ladder.
yeah.
All right, let's close this out. 1.5 million people die on a hot air balloon ride on vacation. 1.5 million people die scuba diving, and finally, 1.5 million people on vacation die from pegging.
Did you guys know
So,
this? That's a lot of people.
Pegging.
Crazy Fish Guy Jesus said talking back to your wife has a 100% mortality rate. That's just good advice. Don't do that.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Thanks for everything, Janelle.
Thanks, you guys.
We got to go.
Happy birthday to Billy Two Balls, Sweet William, from your son, O-Town Carpenter Jesus. 60 years old today, and your son says in 20 more years he'll be old enough to join Randy in the home.
Oh.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93 X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.